Good morning, gearheads. Only 100 days till football starts, and Blind Mike is here to fill the void. Go to blindmike.net for all of Blind Mike's links, including links to Why Are You Laughing and the Patreon-only BTH show with Cardiff and Tukey. On today's show, Joe Rogan apologizes to Theo Von. DL Hughley goes off on Big Jay Oakerson. Sherryl Underwood makes Chelsea Handler look ridiculous. And Joe Matarese begins his road back to Philly. And now, here's your host, the man who has been at more weddings this year than a wedding singer, Blind Mike Geary.
Did I mention weddings somewhere? Where did that come up?
Yeah, on the air, you said you had a lot of weddings to go to, and that you've gone to a lot.
I have no memory of this.
I think it might have been on BTH.
This is a scary thing. I saw a clip from an old KMS, not even old, like a KMS from like 2 years ago or something. And nothing major, but I was like listening to myself describe something that was happening in my life. And I, in real time, was sitting there listening to it going, I have no memory of this. Mm-hmm. That's frightening.
We call it podcast amnesia. You do a show, and then it just gets wiped from your brain. You have no idea what you just said.
And it's the thing I'm referring to was a relatively mundane, I was describing like a text message I got or something. So it's relatively, why would I remember it? But just the fact that I couldn't even relate to what I was talking about was kind of a frightening time in my life. I don't know if anyone can relate to that, but it was terrifying.
I think subconsciously we know we're recorded, so we don't need to like long-term memory that one. Now we're good. It's on tape.
Yeah.
Like, free up the RAM.
Riddle me this, Casey Day.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
What?
No, just there's the time where, okay, please be Kragers. Please be Kragers. Go ahead.
I thought there was going to be I thought there was pomp and circumstance. We were going to reveal a new logo. There was going to be a big contest. No, we were going to narrow things down. What the hell happened?
Well, we got a temporary one up. So I just made what we have now, just like a better version, while we still stew over the first 300 choices that you had.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's not like a change.
I thought you gave me a bunch of options. I narrowed them down, and then you just chose what you want.
No, I knew you were going
to be a wild leap, but
now that would make a lot of sense if the logo was one of those logos or one of the 300. However, it was something completely different. So
all right, that's fair.
Yeah. No.
So don't be jarred. I don't want people to wake up. This is the same Blind Mike project.
It's just a little better looking. That's all. No.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. News. I guess housekeeping news. We will not be live next week. I'm here on a holiday weekend. Shut up. Leave me alone. I'm here on a holiday weekend. Remember this. Say Mike is with us on the high holidays. He keeps us, he keeps us entertained on these long, dreary weekends we're having. So next week when I'm gone, just, forget about it. And we're putting out, I guess it won't be new for members, unfortunately, but we're putting out the watch-along we did of Jeff Dye's special, which was a lot of fun. More fun than I was expecting to have watching The Last Cowboy in L.A. with me and Craig. So we'll be doing that next Sunday if you haven't seen it already. That's good stuff. It's always nice to have Craig around.
Just fills my heart with joy.
Such a, it's an oddly pleasant, let me hear that laugh again. It does give you joy for the unimaginable horrors that he does. That laugh does fill you with joy, oddly.
Yeah, it's either in a children's movie or a horror movie, one of the two. That laugh.
Yeah, I'm sure it makes it a lot more scarring for the victims.
He has a softer one, too.
Go check out, if you want more of that laugh, go check out Very Good Show. See what's cooking over on Very Good Show, verygoodshow.org. But yeah, if you want to become a member, we did 2 bonus shows this week. I also did one with Carl where we listened to Julia Fox's book. It is a lot of fun. Julia Fox wrote a book that's exactly what you'd hope it would be. I actually thought it was going to be boring. I assume Carl had the idea to do it. Because I think I would have figured like, Julia Fox book. I didn't really know her history, so I just thought it was going to be boring. Man, is it exciting? Wall-to-wall lies, but it's a lot of fun.
Crazy ladies are fun.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun breaking down Julia Fox's book. We did that on for Patreon and YouTube members this week, and we also did the Jeff Dye watch-along, and we'll be live tomorrow night. For some reason, Cardiff Electric was trying to shoulder me out of BTH tomorrow.
What?
He was like, I'm going to do it by myself, and I didn't really understand why. So I said, may I come on, please? And he was like, fine, I guess. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but hopefully I'll be on tomorrow night.
Looks like Fogarty just broke up Credence, guys. It's over.
He was like, Cardiff was like, I'm listening to his show, so maybe it's shtick. I don't know. But he's like, I think I'd rather go through my slides for my Italy trip alone. And then me and Tukey were both like, well, we're around. We can do the show. And he seemed begrudging, but willing to have us on, I guess. So that'll be exciting tomorrow night.
If he doesn't, then snipe him and do the exact same show you would do if he was there, but just without it.
B&T versus H.
Yeah.
Me and Tukey take on Cardiff.
That's how you get any good marketing strategy begins with drama, baby.
That could be fun. All right, yeah, so check that out. BlindMike.net is the easiest place to get all those links. Video now available on Spotify as well as YouTube, wherever you get podcasts. The audio is, and all the links are at blindmike.net. Support the show for free by liking, subscribing, commenting. It helps more people find the show, or become a member, and you get early access and bonus content. Also, go to HackRideStudios.com, where you can find Casey Day, and for the time being, DJ Electra Fry, until she blows up.
Yeah, she ain't returning my calls anymore. As you can see, my desk is empty here. Now, she's in chat, though, so thank you, DJ Electrify. Good morning. I hope you're well. But, yes, she is making the rounds I saw her on Clowntown, Karmic, Pat Dixon. That was all within 3-hour time. Hey-o. She is out there.
Exciting stuff. For some reason, Karmic was dancing in our intro this morning.
Mm-hmm. And saying he loved the Blind Mike show, which is great. It's a great show.
Here's a project. Mm-hmm. Let's say, and I think this would be real wacky and fun.
Uh-oh, you're going to get an Electra.
No, not at all. I love Electra. What if you two put your heads together and prank me? I don't want this at all. Guys, you better not do this. I would really hate it if one day you guys did like the intros and the graphics for the show and it was all stuff that you thought I would want. And that would really suck. but it would really get me if you guys did that. So consider it for 2 weeks when we come back.
We'll consider it. We could do that for 6 months and you would never notice. So it's sort of for us.
You better not do it.
I see your strategy here. I see your strategy.
Don't do all the stuff I want. I would hate it. Oh, it would make me so mad.
This reminds me of when we do a show on Riley Martin, and Riley would call, ask for money, and Howard would fight him, and then Howard just realized one day, okay, Riley, I agree with you. You deserve more money. And Riley was like, yeah. But Riley didn't realize Howard was the one that said yes, and he never gave him more money.
What I want is all the goofy shit that that people ask me about in the comments, and I have to be like, I don't know. I didn't even know it was there. I want that. So please do more of that. Don't do all the stuff that you think I want.
Our goal is, absolutely. And we hope it doesn't translate to real life where people are asking, like, what the hell is wrong with your show? Like at church. We hope that doesn't happen.
Well, all the time, but...
Electra mission accomplished. But we do it in good fun. We love
I'm sure. All right. Let's, kidding aside, support HackRideStudios.com and verygoodshow.org. Support the people that support this show, because we wouldn't have it without them, for God's sake. All right, should we get into business today?
An apology.
What? Oh, I was like, it's about time you apologize. No, Joe Rogan. I assume you're talking about. This was, we talked about Rogan last week, getting a little too personal with Theo Vaughn, getting into his business and speculating what Theo's mental state was, which is, I think, all fine and well and good to do for podcasters, but like they're actual friends, supposedly. They have each other's number. If Joe was really worried about Theo, he could have given him a call or texted him or something. And instead he went on air and said that he thinks Theo's losing his mind and talked about SSRIs and all this stuff. This led to a lot of backlash for Joe, which Joe almost never responds to. So I was very surprised when I saw early this past week, Joe Rogan put this out at the end of an episode of his podcast. Let's hear this apology with Rogan like I've never really seen him before.
So I wanted to do this because, well, number one, because I feel bad. And whenever I feel bad about something, and I felt bad all weekend, I feel like I have to address this. So I did an episode recently with Marcus King, the amazing musician, almost called him a musician who is suffering from depression. And one of the things that he did, he was talking about how he looked at a hook that holds a heavy bag and was saying, I wonder if that could hold my weight. And, you know, we were talking about people on antidepressants that can't get off of them, and I brought up Theo. And I brought up this instance where Theo he did a show for Netflix, and it apparently didn't go well. And afterwards, he said something to someone in the audience where he said, I'm just trying to not take my own life or not end my own life. I forget exactly how he said it. And I brought that up. I certainly shouldn't have brought that up in that context. And I probably shouldn't have brought it up, period. But I just sort of wanted to kind of explain why I have this thing with Theo where I just want him to be okay. And, you know, we did a podcast.
This scattered, really. Even like the N-word apology that he put out. Like, he was more composed than this. He feels nervous, and I think Joe says he never reads the comments or anything. I think the backlash is getting to him more than the stuff with Theo, as we'll hear here. But, like, it does seem like for once some of the scrutiny that Joe is under, like, he's kind of feeling it. Like, he sounds more rattled, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, but he sounds more rattled than I've ever really heard him before. Now, that might be because he actually upset Theo, and I don't know what went on behind the scenes, if they talked at all or anything like that. But it might have to do with the impact on Theo. But it does feel, as you'll hear in the rest of this, it does feel like there's more to it, like the speculation, because, you know, a lot of people accuse Joe of basically silencing Theo on the Israel stuff. Theo brought up Israel, and Joe said, it sounds like you're losing your mind. Now, to be fair to Joe, like, Theo's done a lot of stuff lately where it does seem like maybe he's on the edge, like maybe he's not handling stuff well. So I get Joe's concern. It just seems like an odd moment right there, the second that Theo brings up Israel, to be like, well, now it seems like you're on the edge, when that's the type of discussion that Joe has forced on his guests forever. It seems weird to shut it down with Theo Vaughn, where, you know, Joe will have some alt comic on and be like, what do you think about Palestine? And they're like, what? I don't know. And they have to make up an opinion that they have. But let's get back to it.
Past a while back where we were talking about, he started talking about Israel, and I was like, I think you're just losing your mind. And a lot of people like, you're covering for Israel. And it wasn't what I was trying to do. And it is my fault. It's clunky, and I was just trying to talk him off the ledge because I had seen this video, and you'd seen that video too.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
What did you think when you saw that video?
I mean, I didn't know there's other context. Yeah,
this is the other
crazy,
context.
you know?
We should say the other context. So there was a woman that was in the crowd, apparently. Now, by the way, I've talked to Theo. I apologized to Theo. And Theo and I, we started laughing 5 minutes into the conversation. We had a long talk. But one of the things
that's why I'm weirded out that Joe's so uncomfortable then. Like, if you talk to Theo and it's all good, I don't know why he seems so uncomfortable in this moment. I do think it's a rare instance of him getting criticism and maybe understanding where it's coming from with the Israel stuff. Because, you know, people have been talking about how Joe's basically been covering for all of his rich friends, Peter Thiel and all these people. Like, Joe kind of, you know, covers for them in a lot of instances. And it feels like he cuts off his guests or diverts where the topic is going if it gets too critical of the people he likes. I don't know if Joe is doing that intentionally, but it seems in this moment that he's realizing that maybe at the very least he's coming off that way. And he's trying to... I've never really seen Rogan try and I don't know, pull kind of a PR type of move, which it feels like this is, especially if you talk to Theo off air.
Feels like he's serving like two gods here. Like he's serving some sort of master we don't see behind the curtain, but he also like is devoted to comedy and his comedy friends. And those have now intermingled somehow because of the political stuff. But it also sounds like he's getting DMs from like mutual friends, where this is like uncomfortable, like personally, like because people that he respects are actually DMing, like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, Rogan's always been a guy that's like, oh, you're getting criticism online. Who gives a shit? Don't read it. Don't watch the breakdown videos, whatever. This seems like a rare instance where he watched all of it and is reacting to it, where he's reacting in a way that all the people that come on his show, like Steve-O we saw a couple months ago, like the people that have these kind of breakdowns from criticism online are reacting. It feels like Joe's having a moment like that. I like that he apologized to Theo. I like that he's taking time to reflect on it, but it does go against the advice he gives to everyone else, it seems.
Yeah, and if that's true, my God, has he been smart up to this point to not look at that stuff? Because this is like a BB compared to some of the bazookas that have come after him.
I think he's always looked at it, and I just think this is one that actually got to him, and he thinks, oh, do I come across that way? Does it seem like or am I actually doing that? So maybe this is a realization. People think that Joe has changed over the years, where he was, and this happens naturally. I mean, we've seen it with Stern. There's a million examples of this, where people are counterculture, and then they become so accepted that they're just part of the actual culture. And all the people that were on the inside see the success that this fringe thing is having and welcome them in. And Joe is kind of in a place where those worlds are mixing right now, or they have been for a long time, and maybe he's just realizing it.
Told me was that video, this woman had said to him that she wanted him to make a video for suicide awareness. And so he said, look, I'm just trying to not end my own life. That's a very Theo thing to say. Yeah. When you take it in that context, it's not as scary. But when you see it by itself, you're like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and I get that too, by the way. I do get him being worried about Theo, and I think what he said about, he mentions Brody Stevens and other people he's known, where he's like, I kind of wish I said something earlier. So that's why I said something about Theo. And, people make a lot of like, oh, well, you said it on the biggest podcast in the world. But maybe there are times where people needed that. Maybe if someone called out Chris Farley when he was fucked up on SNL, maybe it would have taken someone saying on live TV, hey, get your shit together. Like maybe that would have actually gotten through to him, as opposed to the dozens of people that probably talked to him privately. So you never know what's going to work, but it came off as very bad when Joe did it. And then Theo responded by being like, yeah, this is kind of bullshit. This isn't an accurate representation of how I'm feeling.
Up next, failures.
All right.
From that perspective, from that podcast on, Theo has gotten off the meds. He titrated off. He weaned himself off. He's doing yoga every day or running every day. He's doing something. He's much happier and much healthier.
Not our business, by the way. Joe. Maybe Theo's talked about it publicly, but this is also not our business. If he's off medication. Well, I wasn't supposed to say he was on medication. Good news. He's off of them. You're not supposed to tell us that either, Joe.
What's his mile time? How many push-ups can he do, Joe?
Yeah.
Give us all the facts.
So
his BMI, please.
It's for him to see that I think that he's suicidal. Like, fuck. That's my failing. That's my failing as a friend. It's my failing as a person. And it's also me talking to Marcus, almost sort of selfishly, ham-handedly try to explain why I talk to him the way I talk to him on that podcast. And, these are kind of subjects that sometimes, like, you almost need like a podcast to sort of break down why you were thinking about certain things. But
that's this show, Mike.
That's what we do.
Yeah,
You're welcome, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
But so then it comes out, like Theo has to defend it, and then I called him up and I said, I'm so sorry. I didn't even think of that, and that's very selfish of me. I didn't think that you would have to respond. I didn't even think of it. I just wanted to explain it when Marcus was talking about it, and I wanted to put it into a context. Like Theo is one of my favorite people. He's a very unusual and very amazing person. The last thing I would ever want to do is hurt that guy. And the last thing I'd ever want to do is like, say something that would have people think about him in a negative way, which I'm sure I did. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video, and I wanted to apologize.
And this is for anyone that didn't watch the original version of this. He does a regular pod. I forget who the guest was, but he does a regular podcast, and then 2.5, 3 hours into it, he just says goodbye to his guest, and then he comes back with 20 minutes here. Like, this is a long segment, and it's something I'm sure he's done it in some form or fashion, but I can't think of another instance like that. And it's also like it's just tagged on at the end of a seemingly random episode, and he does seem flustered. It seemed like he had to put this out for some reason, whether it was people telling him to or his own subconscious or whatever the reason was. This felt like mandated. It felt necessary for him, either psychologically or because of relationships in his life, or there's something going on here where he seemed like forced to put this out almost.
Yep, yeah. Trucker Andy, you got to get the band back together. We got a big time apology here we got to cover.
He's like sighing. I love Theo so much, and it's like, well, you talk to him, you're fine. And Joe, it stands out because Joe doesn't react this way. I think there's a lot of guys where it's like, if they, offended their friend and came on the podcast and had a conversation like this, it'd be totally normal. But Joe's always a guy who's like, hey, ignore everything happening online. And this seems like a direct response to Too Lazy to Try and channels like that.
The whole this problem with like people that are suffering, and I'm not even saying he's suffering anymore because I think he's doing well right now, but at times he has been. They don't tell you what's going on. And especially a guy like Theo, I don't see him that often. I see him every few months. And when I talk to him, it's fun. We have the best time. We laugh a lot. I love being his friend. I love hanging out with him. But I worry, and having been through this with like Ari, where Ari, like, and I should say this, like Theo got off antidepressants. Antidepressants probably saved Ari's life.
I should say, by the way, because I mentioned this last week, I wasn't aware of Ari talking publicly about depression, and he has. Him and Rogan have talked about it a bunch before. Ari's been on Joe List's Mindful Metal Jacket talking about depression, and Rogan was a big part of like helping Ari through that. So I just hadn't heard that stuff, which is why it struck me as odd that Joe was mentioning it in that moment. But they are both pretty open about it, it seems like. So,
Off the Ledge is next.
And that, by the way, is a very valid concern for Rogan to have. I'm just a little surprised he's voicing it in this way, but I do get, and I can attest to this personally, that there are a lot of people that joke about mental health and what they're going through that are actually going through something and won't let you know till it's too late. And even if you ask them personally over and over again, they'll be like, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. I'm doing okay. And they're just lying. So I get why Rogan is like, I love this guy, but we're not that I'm not in his life every day, so I was worried about him, and I kind of talked out of school. I do get that. It's more the way he's addressing it that I am surprised by. Like I said, I like that he's, kind of feels bad for the way Theo reacted to it. That's seemingly a good friend, but it's weird that he seems very worked up about it in a way I've never seen Rogan before.
Grills Trillions in the chat goes, Ari is on drugs also. Good to know, Joe. Thanks a lot.
Ari is on drugs, believe it or not. Ari Shaffir is on drugs.
Yes. So Joe kind of loose with everything right there.
But I get real scared when people get attached to these things and they can't get off of them. And this is the case, I think, at least in some part. I mean, Theo was on them for like 20 years. And I'd send him a bunch of these articles.
Talking about it, Joe.
How long? Oh, no.
Here's his doctor if you guys want to talk to him.
Jesus Christ.
Keeps bringing up Theo's medical history. He can't stop himself.
Is he on those herpy antivirals too, Joe? Let us know. We need all his medication history.
Part of what and this is pure speculation, but part of what I believe happened, because I saw this theory out there a lot, that people were saying that Theo is basically being set up so that the Illuminati or whatever conspiratorial body controls these things. Like Theo starts mouthing off about Israel. He's painted in the light of a guy who is suicidal and battling depression and all this. And then when he turns up dead, it's not that weird. No one really questions it. And I do believe Joe is obviously very conspiratorial as well. He talks about those topics a lot. I think if that got to him, if he realized that, like if he read comments like that, I can see that hitting Rogan in a place where he's like, fuck, could I have contributed to something like that? I could see that sticking in his mind, and that might be why he's reacting so, I'm just terribly sorry about what I did. I don't know the right word for how he's apologizing here, but it seems over the top, and I think that might be why, that he realized he might be contributing to something bigger, and it's a weird argument with Rogan, because I've always been of the mind that he shouldn't have to change his podcast. Like when he talks about ivermectin or testosterone or any of that shit, people always call it, he's giving medical advice. And I would say he was doing that on his podcast when there were 10,000 listeners and when there were 80,000 listeners and when there were 200,000 listeners. And I don't think it should have to change because now there's 6 million listeners. Like, it got popular for a reason. I don't think he has to change. I think people should change how they consume that. If they're taking it as literal advice, that's on them. It's not on Joe Rogan. But I do think this is a rare moment of Joe saying, hey, a lot of people listen to me. I have a certain level of influence now. I don't want to contribute to something that could hurt a friend of mine. So that, like, if that's the case, that's a big, maybe I'm giving him too much credit or putting too much thought into it. But I do think that's a big, I think he deserves it's a commendable thing if that's what's happening here, I think.
Can I present a counterfactual?
Please.
So maybe his alphabet friends let him know there's going to be some wet work done to one of his buddy comedy friends, and he's trying to get as far away from that as possible.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. It's weird that podcasting has gotten to a level, even if you don't believe in that stuff, like if you don't believe something like that is happening, it's weird that that's not a ridiculous idea. Like that's how big Rogan is now, that's not great. Like he texted Trump and said, hey, legalize this, whatever the fucking drug was that he went to the White House for. He texted Trump and that got done. So it's just weird. Like, I do get that there's a level of responsibility that comes with that. I just don't think Rogan ever wanted it, and I think that's kind of what he's wearing on his face and in his voice here.
You know who would love that conspiratorial story about the government inner workings and possible wet work? A guy named Joe Rogan, if his name wasn't attached to it. So it's very funny.
Yeah.
Mike, we have a
super chat.
we got to get to right in the middle here. One Louis J. Gomez comedy for 1999. Good morning, Blind Mike and crew. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Louis. We'll be talking about your boy, Big Jay Oakerson, stepping in it with DL. DL Hughley had some real harsh words for Big Jay. He calls him fat. I don't know if Jay's ready for that, but we have to talk about that in a little while later. So,
also, Louis, why you're here? Can you get Big Jay to confirm that we did try to book a goddamn interview with him? I've been getting shit for a year for that.
Don't listen to this. It's nonsense. It's a lie.
He doesn't
perpetrating. Just ignore it and let's continue.
He doesn't need to come on the show. Just confirm. He talked to us. God damn it. All right.
It goes about these people that like lose feeling in their genitals and all these crazy side effects of getting off of these things. And so when I feel, having that conversation with Marcus and not doing a good job and just sort of selfishly explaining Theo's situation and not even knowing the context of that thing, I felt like I did a huge disservice to my friend and also to people listening, like especially in this clips environment where people are getting things from clips. You would see that and you go, oh, you fucking out.
It's in his head a little bit, no?
Yeah.
But then I do always defend these guys in the sense that they never wanted that. Like, it used to be Joe Rogan would tell a story about Theo Von, and comedy fans would be like, boy, that's pretty interesting. We're getting inside stuff here. And now it's news, and not just on channels like this. Like CNN will talk about it, which is crazy. It's been happening long enough, and Joe's invited some of that. I mean, Joe has had world leaders on, so like he invited it to a degree, but it does have to be a little weird when you're just talking about your friend, and if you think it's in a concerned way, and that becomes not only headline news, but people are now like, you're contributing to the possibly the end of Theo Vaughn. I can imagine it could be jarring for someone.
I remember us sitting on here one time watching comedians talk about another comedian, but they wouldn't name it. And we were kind of like, our attitude was like, well, if you're going to talk the shit, name it.
Yeah.
Well, this is why you probably don't. This is probably why those guys probably don't name the guy, because this is the backlash you deal with.
Yeah, and you forget, like, this is their personal, and they're trying to entertain an audience and be insightful and give a glimpse into that world while also maintaining a lot of these relationships, which can be difficult because people can get very sensitive, as we'll see in some of our later segments.
Asshole, like, what are you doing? You're throwing your friend under the bus. And if you're upset at that, you're right. Like, I'm upset at me. So I can understand why you would be upset at me. That was never my intention. Both from the podcast that we did with Theo, where I was trying to talk him off the ledge, but I did a bad job, when I was like, I think you're losing your marbles. I just didn't want him to just go down this. Look, it's obvious what's happening in Gaza is a fucking horrendous, horrific situation. But I was trying to just talk him off the ledge. I just did a shitty job of it.
Yeah, I believe that to a degree, but I also believe there's a lot of outside Joe's in a weird place. That it's very strange to be Joe Rogan, and I think a lot of the channels that are like, fuck Joe, he's this or that. I don't think they're giving enough credit to how weird that is. That he was an actor on news radio and the host of Fear Factor and a stand-up comedian and MMA commentator. And now the things he says has like world impact, and people are dissecting it like that. That is a level of craziness, and I appreciate moments like that where it seems like he's being honest. I'm sure there's a million other channels that are breaking down why he's lying or why it's all part of the master plan of the Illuminati or something. But to me, I'm very naive, and I look at that and say, like, it seems like a guy who's trying. Which I appreciate.
Yeah, it was a valid attempt, and if I was his friend, if I was Theo, I'd be like, that was nice. You didn't have to do that. So,
yeah.
Yay, super chats.
No, I got one more here. Let's get through this. Principled uncertainty, 10 somethings. I know from personal experience that one thing that helps is a close friend discussing my problems in front of a crowd for attention. Never fails to raise the old spirits. No,
but I will say, I will say, as someone who's been not in Theo Vaughn specifically's position, but like a guy like dealing with mental health issues and being on and off medication and stuff like that. Joe Rogan's podcast is a whole different animal. But if I overheard people talking about me in that way, it might wake me up to a degree. Like, oh, is that how I'm coming across? I as much as it's not the right way to approach it, I think it can be helpful. Sometimes people do need a wake-up call. So I'm not saying it's bad inherently, like across the board.
You know who needs a wake-up call, Mike? DL Hughley, as DJ Electra calls him.
What a segue.
Yes.
So DL Hughley did this thing, and DL Hughley, I guess, I remember hearing him on Opie and Anthony back in the day, and he seemed very, racially biased. Like if issues of race came up, you kind of knew what his stance would be, but it seemed like his takes, at least as I remember, were a little more nuanced. Like I remember him having conversations with Anthony on the air, and even he came on with Norton after Anthony got fired, and they had a conversation about that where I didn't agree with him, but he seemed it seems like his mind has just been taken over. Like, I don't know if it was when Trump got in office or what happened, but now he's just become one of these guys that's like, oh, well, this is a Nazi. This guy that I don't like, I guess he's just a Nazi. Like, you put these blanket statements on people. And so DL Hughley did that after the Kevin Hart roast and put up a graphic with Big Jay Oakerson, Shane Gillis, and Tony Hinchcliffe that, I don't know, just says Nazis above it or something. These are the Nazis. but he's talking about Tony Hinchcliffe. To be fair, Jay's face is on the screen, which triggered Big J. But DL Hughley is talking specifically about Tony Hinchcliffe. But that clip came across Jay's radar, and he responded to it on the bonfire. He also responded on Legion of Skanks, if you want to check that out this week. It's very similar, so I just didn't pull both. But this is him on the bonfire responding to DL. And we'll have DL's response after this.
Oh, I heard about this. And here's the
What
thing.
is it? What is this? Tell us what this is.
It's just something I was told. DL Hughley was talking about the roasts.
You want me to play it?
Lewis told me this. If you could, yeah. I know we got to go pretty soon.
I could never imagine working on the same panel with a dude who I believe to be a Nazi, and I do. When a white dude says he wants freedom of speech and all that kind of stuff, it's really just to say nigga. But I
got to tell you, it's such a ridiculous. First of all, there's a lot you can criticize about Tony Hinchcliffe. His ego is out of control. The man has thrones in his home. Every show is introduced by saying it's going to be the best night of your lives. He's an egomaniac. He builds every comedian that walks up on stage as the greatest you're ever going to see. Like, his ego is very easy to make fun of. The man's not a racist. He's not a Nazi. It's a ridiculous fucking argument. And then to lump Shane and Jay and anyone else into that is even more ridiculous. Because Tony's a whole different animal. He endorsed Trump, which doesn't make you a Nazi. But if you want to attack his politics, he's put it out there. To say that Tony, Shane, and Jay are all the same politically, whatever their thoughts on race, anything, it's literally marginalizing. You are literally lumping people into a group based on the color of their skin and what you believe their actions are without knowing them at all. So lumping them in together is crazy. Calling Tony a Nazi is ridiculous. But we'll get more into that with the Chelsea Handlers stuff. So let's hear from Jay.
knew when I saw the lineup for that roast, I knew it would be.
I mean,
So
just
you gotta
stop.
say what happens there.
Can I just say something though? It does go from you to Shane to a Nazi. It looks like the SS.
So what? Let's finish what you're saying.
Tony has no eyebrows. I never noticed that.
Years ago, he was at a Nazi rally,
Oh,
and
God.
now he's with it was on Jumanji.
Play it again.
They said it's implied. It's implied because they show your picture. So he's obviously talking about Tony. He's talking about him doing the Trump.
And the Nazi rally, that's not what it was. Like, it's disingenuous to label it that way. Tony did not do a Nazi rally. He did one of the two candidates we can vote for. Tony showed up and did comedy that he was called racist for, but it wasn't racist. It's ridiculous. Tony has put up more people, and I don't like Tony. I'm not a Tony fan. I think he's a great roaster, and I think what he's built is incredible that he's been able to do that. I'm not a fan of Tony's comedy. I have no interest in defending him, but to call him a Nazi is idiotic. The amount of people of color, disabled people, like what he's done for people that otherwise would have no chance. Because say what you want about him. Say what you want about Hans Kim or Cam Patterson or any of these people. They would not have had the opportunity that they got without Tony Hinchcliffe. Is that good or bad? I don't know. But he's helping people that otherwise would not have had a shot. So to call that guy a Nazi, you're doing your own cause a disservice. Deal. You look like a fucking idiot by doing that. So don't do us any favors by handing us a very easy argument to win. Now, Jay does respond in a way that I kind of wish he didn't. I think Jay is a hilarious guy. He responds in a way that gives DL exactly what he wants, which we're about to hear. So I wish he went about it a little differently, but let's hear from Big J.
Rally, but then he shows pictures
Well, it's
of
his
you and
fucking
Shane
show
and
showing
groups you
pictures.
in.
But I saw this group. You saw this group in what? You fucking
Yeah.
pontificating asshole.
I
Be funny, face, for 5 seconds. Stop bitching.
There's the one thing
I'm
about
tired of
it.
watching black guys in fucking Django hats fucking tell me how the world works now and let me know that I'm a Nazi. It's fucking hilarious. What a bunch of fucking stooges.
Lewis commented.
What
Yeah,
did
no, I
Lewis
know.
say?
Lewis
Ah,
will get
shit.
into it, but it's the same. Lewis, they're not the word Nazi means something exactly. It's like, and it's probably not Jewish people yet again. Fucking dumb DL Hughley. And if you're saying you didn't call me a Nazi and you're calling Tony, it doesn't matter. You're showing a picture of me in this thing. I saw this lineup and I thought to myself, I don't know anything, is what you thought to yourself. Because I've known Kev since we started together, is why I was on the roast.
Yeah.
Not to go give Nazi propaganda, you fucking.
The other thing, do people think Kevin's a Nazi? it was Kevin's roast. He has control of it to a degree. Who's on it? Does he think Kevin was like, all right, give me the Nazis, give me the lineup of Nazis, and throw Chelsea Handler in there for good measure, a little balance. Like Shane turned down the roast, and then Kevin Hart went to him personally to ask him, and so Shane was basically guilted into it. Like, did Kevin go out of his way? That's the thing no one's asking. People are protecting these black Sherryl Underwood, which we'll talk about in a minute, and Kevin Hart. They wanted to participate in it, and they didn't have a problem with it. Tiffany Haddish had a great comment where people asked her about the comedians that are mad about the roast, and she goes, are they mad about the roast, or are they mad they weren't invited to perform? Which I think is a great point. Like, I think DL thinks he should have been on there, and he looks at Big J and Shane and is like, well, they don't deserve it. They're terrible racists. I will say though, I think Jay is overreacting a bit because believe me, the host of the show is not always in control of what's on the screen. All right, I don't know if DL said put Jay and Shane up there when I'm talking about Tony. Like they may have just put stuff up, and Jay's picture was on there. As we'll hear, I don't think DL knew. So I think Jay is overreacting a little bit, and I do think doing the impression of DL gives them exactly what they wanted, as we're about to hear. Let him continue.
Jerk off.
Yeah, get another hat and a cigar and shut the fuck up.
If you want to tune in, I know we're leaving here soon. I'm going to go to Legion of Skanks. I'll tell you for sure. I'm not a Nazi. That is a fact.
No.
But he is a bitch of a guy. Fucking DL Hughley. That's a fact. Doing something like that is so fucking funky.
It's bullshit.
And even kind of go like, that's shitty to apologize. Because the thing is, I said 2 days ago, I've never thought DL Hughley was funny, but that means nothing. That's subjective. I don't give it. It's not my thing.
Yeah. You don't like learning?
I respect him as a
I don't
like being talked to about. Yeah, I don't know if I find the teachings of Farrakhan that funny. But yeah. I don't want to listen to any comic who has their head shot where they're doing this.
Just putting their hand,
putting their finger on their chin and temple to go. It's like time to get to it.
Well, this show also, the still on the show looks like it's a political show. It doesn't look like it's a.
Oh, the world's going behind him. He's got to let you know what he feels about the earth.
Yeah.
He's only been famous for fucking 65
Jay
years.
Always has said to me, I hate comics that go political.
Yeah.
That's why you dump Dave off of the Skanks.
Yeah. I had to boot my own best friend. I'm sick of these fucking politics. But again, he's lumping me in with this fucking thing, and it's like without knowing anything. And the thing is going to be like, well, I don't know who you are. It's like, well, maybe don't put up a video implying that I'm a fucking Nazi.
It's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Just shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not I don't dislike you now, DL, because you're black. It's because you're black.
Well, he gives DL. They chopped, by the way. They took what Jay's about to say. They took him doing the black voice, saying "erf." They chopped that up and literally play it on DL's show and go, "See, he is a Nazi," which is shitty. Like that's what I meant by I wish Jay just didn't do that part. He's not even doing it on purpose. Like, but he kind of gave them enough that they wanted, so they could be like, "See, he is a racist." But he's right. Like they're doing Chelsea Handler and DL Hughley and these people are doing what they've been convinced that Tony and Shane do, where they're marginalizing these people. They're assuming a lot about them based on appearance and hearsay, I guess, and being like, oh, these guys are Nazis. Like DL literally said Tony went to a Nazi rally and he's a Nazi. None of that is true, but it's just something that's spouted. And you have this in society now where half the people say bullshit that they've been fed, and the other half say the opposite bullshit. And then people in the middle that break it down sort of logically are like, they get shit for not going far enough in either direction. So it's an unwinnable, nothing is a winnable situation. And it's exhausting to exist in a society like that. And maybe it only exists online. I'm not having these debates in real life, I guess. So maybe we're just kind of in an online bubble. But it does get exhausting when you hear people use that sort of language, like, Nazi and white supremacist and all that shit. And it is, I guess it's nice in the sense that there's all this outrage this week, DL Hughley and Chelsea Handler and all these people. And no one's losing any opportunities. That should be noticed. Like, that's not going to exist for a long time. It's going to come back. All the cancel culture stuff will come back someday. But we're in a time right now where it's not happening. And as I said last week, 5-6 years ago, Shane very likely would have lost his Bud Light sponsorship. Tony might have been taken off Netflix. Like, there would have been reactions to this stuff that did not happen, and I think that should at least be acknowledged. I think that's a minor win in all this.
So I'm doing the math at home. So DL Hughley, not a Nazi. Kevin Hart, Nazi. And man with pink fingernails, Nazi. Okay, got the scorecard done, and we're ready to go.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm not I don't dislike you now, DL Hughley, because you're black. It's because you're black and dumb. It's got to be both.
I wish everybody.
Just black doesn't bother me. Black and dumb, that's my one thing.
He's obviously kidding. Anyone that knows Jay's voice knows he's kidding. And I'm not shitting you. They play that on DL's show. Like, see? Look, he is racist. It's like, shut the fuck up. People just want to be right so badly that they don't acknowledge what the other side is. And I will say, DL does there's moments where DL kind of acknowledges maybe he was wrong. His producers do not. The people on his show get in the way here. But let's finish up with Jay and then go to DL.
You got to fight for your talent, Mike.
I guess so, yeah.
With the dogs of the industry.
Everybody laughed at the same time on that one.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
All right. Well,
he might come back on that. He might not come back on that. I'll get worse on Legion of Skanks, so I'm sure he'll fire back at some point. But don't put a picture of me up and call me Nazi and expect fucking just be like, these white boys.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked.
And you know, when I see these white boys up there. Get the fuck out of here, these white boys.
It is kind of racist, Jay.
Yeah. I see this black boy sitting back there talking on the podcast all the time.
Wabbly-dabbly.
Double fucking hypocritical.
Yeah.
Pretty fucked. They just show
Suck my
pictures.
dick, DL Hughley. Suck my dick. And I know you want to. Because you're an F word.
Easy. Jacob's about to start typing again.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Jacob. I'm not going to say it because he said it.
I didn't even say it.
You didn't.
But I will
Nobody said
eventually
it.
because I know it bothers black people big time.
Big.
Black Lou. If I lay out the F word on Legion of Skanks on DL Hughley, that might raise an eyebrow, yeah?
Oh, absolutely.
What about the other one?
Do I have your blessing, Black Lou?
Good luck to you.
Who's coming after me? The black guys with big brim hats army?
Cam Newton's. He's pretty scary.
Jay gave him enough in there for DL to be like, see, he's right. And anyone that's listened to Jay long enough knows he's not a racist. It's just a silly conversation to have. But he gave DL enough to respond to. I was a little surprised DL responded so quickly, but I guess it got back to him, and he responded this week on his podcast. So let's hear that.
And the other thing, who is this kid? Who is this kid that was the kid that was
Jay's 48. This kid.
The most rough-looking kid I've ever seen. My God.
this kid that was the fat dude that was talking shit? Who is that dude?
Oh, Big Jay Oakerson.
Big J. First off, Big J, that sounds like a biscuit, right? Like a sandwich.
Okay, we got two fat jokes. We got a couple of fat jokes in. That should clear us for the rest of the episode. We got a couple of fat jokes in. Jay is out of shit. And by the way, DL, he's lost a lot of weight. He's working on it, okay? But we got two fat jokes in. We're probably good now, right? For the rest of the episode?
I'm going plus 200 and Ozempic joke comes. Minus 200 Ozempic joke.
Let's count. It's 1,000? How many times did he reference Jay being fat? That's all he has, so it's kind of just a lame response. DL does make some okay points here, but from a comedic standpoint, the response is pretty lame.
I know that dude about as much as he knows salads. I don't know who he is. And I would be angry, too, if I had actually said that he was a Nazi. I said I thought Tony Hinchman was a Nazi. I don't even know who this kid is.
Come on, DL. First of all, that's bullshit. He knows who Big J is. But, and I'm not saying because everyone knows, I'm saying he later refers to Jay having opened for Patrice. Like, he knows things about Jay that he otherwise, there's no reason for him to know if he didn't know his comedic career. So that's bullshit. And the idea of like, I wasn't calling Jay a Nazi. I was calling the people he associates with Nazis. What? Come get it together, guys.
Duh.
Shut up, DL.
I have no idea who he is. I think somebody put up a picture. I guess his name was on it, was one of the pictures, and he was responding.
I want to apologize for the picture because, technically, I told my editor to put in 3 photos of famous racist people from the roast?
Because he's not a famous racist.
No.
He's just
racist.
he's not famous. Now,
Hey,
I
we
don't have
can
a problem.
have a laugh at that, but also you're branding these guys as racists, and it's simply not true. Like we can all, he's not famous. Well, you did call him a racist. And you actually called them Nazis, so it's not correct. And also for DL to not be like, hey, fuckhead, it's my show. Please don't call people Nazis if it's not true. For this guy to so shittily be like, you know, I guess it's on me. I should have had famous Nazis up there. And it's like, that's the dig? That he's not famous? Like Tony's a more famous Nazi is the insult? I don't even really get it. But they don't believe in anything they're complaining about here. Like that's the real, but if Tony was a Nazi, like and Lewis is right, by the way. Like Lewis responded to DL's original show saying like, hey, the word Nazi means something. Like that should have some weight and power to it. If you just call everyone a Nazi, it becomes meaningless. If Tony was a Nazi, we shouldn't be sitting on podcasts going, that little Nazi. We shouldn't be we should be trying to stop this man. The Nazis, I don't know if you know this, did horrible, horrible things. We should be trying to stop it if we really thought that 3 genuine Nazis were on the stage that night, and one of them was hosting the show. The reaction shouldn't be gossiping on a podcast. Oh, can you believe these Nazis? That's an extremely dull reaction to actual Nazis. So you don't believe it. Admit that it's bullshit, that you don't really believe that, because the reaction should either be much harsher or you're saying that Nazis aren't so bad, which is a deal.
With a dude having, like, to me, if somebody had said something I didn't say, or if somebody had impugned my integrity in a way like that, I would react the same way. But now I have this fat dude who looked like Roseanne Barr talking shit to me. And I'm not going to have a fat dude. I'm not going to have a...
Mike, they did some AI art to match with the jokes and commentary. Just to let you know, there is a visual part of the humor you might be missing.
You see how exhausting that is, Casey?
Yes. I apologize for the last 3 years. Get right on that next 3 weeks.
Dude who lactates talking shit to me. You can't talk to me you at a C cup. I don't even know you.
Like, there's no substance to this. It's just, oh yeah, Jay. Well, you're fat. It's like, he knows. He's actually gotten much slimmer over the years. So I think he's doing all right with that. Like, there's nothing to this argument. Like, DL has nothing to really go on. So he just keeps repeating that Jay's fat over and over again.
You know who hated fat people?
Who's that?
The Nazis.
Oh, my God.
DL's a secret Nazi.
Oh, no. DL, you have no idea what you're doing.
I didn't insult you. I don't know who you are. I think, but my problem was that he took the bait and started talking slick in a way that he thought he was. I don't like that. Like, insult me and intimate that I'm feminine in some kind of way when you wear nail polish. You can't be the only reason a fat dude wears nail polish so he'll know when to stop chewing. You can't be a fat dude with red hair and nail and talk about somebody else. The only reason
is Lewis still in the chat? Because tell Louis J. Gomez, someone has to point out to Jay that his hair and nails are goofy. Jay has gotten by too long. No one has mentioned. Imagine thinking Big J is a comedian who dresses like that and does his hair like that and paints his nails, and just no one's ever mentioned it to him before. No one's
didn't notice.
This is just uncharted ground. The deal is, oh yeah, well he's fat and his nails are painted. Gee, I never thought of that. I'm blind and I'm aware of that deal. We all know.
I think what we've learned here is that DL is hack. Oh my God, I didn't know he was that hack.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a fan of DL's comedy, but like it's just not. He was before my time, and I just never related to it really. So I never had like a problem with him. But like this is legitimately like just hack. Like, oh yeah, well eat a salad. Oh, good one.
I would say, like, I saw him on Bill Maher when he was young, and it actually, like, astonished me how funny he was and good he was. But then I never saw that act again or that person again. It was like...
I mean, the man is one of the original kings of comedy. I don't think they just give you that title.
They do. They actually do, yeah. That's what There's no crown on that one.
He wears a nail polish so it looks like a girl is touching his dick. That's what, are you crazy? The one thing nobody can ever say about me is that I'm not intelligent. You can say whatever you want. I never said anything about this cat. I don't know who he is.
Well, Dia, take some responsibility. You put up pictures. That's the Nazi 3 or whatever the fuck you put over that. You said, these are Nazis, and it was your show. You can say, hey, I didn't tell these idiots to do that. You distance yourself, whatever. But just acknowledge it was on your show. That's not a crazy leap for Jay to make. I think he overreacted to it a bit, but it's not a crazy leap for Jay to make to be like, well, this guy's calling me a Nazi. He put up, hey, these are the Nazis, and he put up pictures. And literally, your producer, whoever that guy is, said, oh, I told my editors to put up pictures of Nazis, and it was Jay, Shane, and Tony. By the way, all people who give people of color opportunity, like have put them on their shows, for whatever that is. I'm not saying they're gods because of that, but like they all have people of color and women, like give people opportunities to people that open for them and put them on their successful podcasts. Like they all do that. So I don't know what they're supposed to be doing to separate themselves from Nazis more than they are. Like I said, Nazis are, if you want to say they're bigoted or prejudiced, sure, we can have that argument, I guess. I wouldn't even agree with that. But that is much different than saying these guys are Nazis.
I don't know how that picture got up there. I said what I said, and I stand by what I said. But I'm not going to have a dude with smile.
What do you think? Jay walked in that day and the camera picked him up? You don't know how the picture got up there? Like, if this happened on this show, and I'm not even saying I'd be steaming about it, but I would go, hey, Casey, you shouldn't have done that. Like, if we're talking about something and you associate someone that doesn't fit into that group, we shouldn't have done that. That's all it has to be. It doesn't have to be, I don't even know how that picture got up there. That means it's Jay's fault somehow? No, you did do it, DL. It's your show. Like, you're the host of that show. You're the brand. I don't know who this other fucking guy is that put the picture up there. So the blame is going to come down on you. Don't distance yourself from it. And so, I don't know, the picture, an outside source put Jay's face on. No, it was you guys.
Miles on his knees talking shit to me. I'm not going to have that.
One of the other things that Big J brought up, which we never even discussed, was like him being on the roast, you know, and him being picked for the roast. And he said, of course, I'm from Philly. That's kind of like my cousin claiming to be in the Wu-Tang Clan because he's from Staten Island.
Nothing like that, and not what Jay said. It's a horrific example. What he said was, I came up with Kevin Hart. I was friends with Kevin Hart for a while, and everyone knows that. Like, to the degree that anyone that follows Jay, when there was a Kevin Hart roast announced, thought, is Jay going to be on it? Because they came up together. Jay has done Kevin's show where they've talked about it. Jay's told a million stories about Kevin Hart. They have a relationship. It's natural that it's not like your cousin saying he's in the Wu-Tang Clan. I don't even understand the analogy. How is it like that? This guy's a real asshole because he has nothing to do with this. He's interjecting himself in something that was entirely between Jay and DL.
A lot of white knighting on today's show, I think.
Oh yeah, we'll get to much more, but yes, there is a lot of white knighting.
Fat ass probably thought the roast was Arby's.
We got it.
He's the only dude that showed up with a napkin.
Understand, DL. He's fat. And by the way, DL, just so you know, you're doing the same thing Jay did. When you're all offended that Jay did a black voice or whatever, you're doing the same thing. You're taking one of the three things you know about him. You're taking the nail polish and he's fat and saying dumb hack jokes about them because you think that's going to hurt his feelings. You're taking what you think is the most hurtful thing and throwing it back at Jay because you're hoping he's insecure about it. That's all Jay did to you that you're so offended by.
Getting in the fork. Oh my God. Fat ass. Here's the thing. If I said something about you, like that's a very incendiary thing to accuse somebody of being a Nazi, which I didn't do.
Yeah.
But you took the bait and started doing the.
What? You did it to Tony. You did it to Tony. It's a very incendiary thing to accuse someone. All I did, and listen, it's a terrible thing to accuse someone of being a Nazi. I would never do that. I would do it to Tony Hinchcliffe
Yes.
And then I would kind of subtly suggest that Shane and Jay are also Nazis. I would do that, but what you're accusing me of is ridiculous.
The black voices and talk. He would never say that to me.
And after he did that impression, you made yourself look like a Nazi, you
Right,
dumb
so
fuck.
stop it.
Yeah.
I got news for you, buddy. The Nazis, I didn't live through that time. Maybe they were big on impressions, but it wasn't their greatest crime, at least not according to the history books. Their impressions were pretty low on the totem pole of the atrocities they committed.
Although German doing an impression is pretty bad. I gotta say, have you heard them talk? Oh my god.
Is fucking Jimmy Fallon doing an impression of Chris Rock? Does that make him a Nazi? Is that why he had to apologize for that?
I now want to see a comedy show with all Nazis. Damn you, Mike. I want to see this now.
Nazi. That made you look like a Nazi. Boy, we've really lowered the bar for Nazis. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we used to make them shave their heads. Now we don't even do that.
Oh, look at. Don't tell me I'm dumb when your diet lets me know you make shitty choices. Don't tell me that.
We heard you. He's fat. Jesus.
I'm not. You can't be a 40-something-year-old dude with nail polish and fingerless gloves talking shit about somebody. You can't do that. I don't like how fast white dudes get to whiten. Like how fast a dude who ain't racist turns to something racist. Like I don't know who he is. I don't know what he said. But
did they say anything racist in response to DL? Like I said, I knew the second he did like the DL impression, I was like, oh, he's gonna take that and be like, oh, Jay's. But did Jay say anything racist? Like again, how far have we lowered the bar of racism here?
Well, I think now if you're angry and you say, "Ugh, black," that's racist. But if you're like, they're black, that's okay. It's just in the tone that you say it.
Tone of voice. He said it too angrily.
We're tone regulating. Tone police.
We did have a conversation over lunch, and you did say that you could understand how,
I said it here,
if the picture came across and it said Nazi, that if that were you and something similar,
I'd say the same
you
thing.
could understand.
Right.
But the line was drawn
when you start talking crazy like that.
No, just go. Hey, I get why you responded. Either you get why you responded like that, or you don't. But hey, if someone called me a Nazi and I took it like that, I'd be furious. But I would never dare insult them. Of course you would, DL. Look at what you're doing right now. And also he goes, oh, Jay would never respond to me like that. Well, if you saw Jay, would you start going, hey, have a salad, you fat fuck? If you saw Jay in person, you would have responded like this? Of course not. You're being silly. I'm not saying it couldn't have escalated to that point, but like you would just walk up to Jay and start making fun of his clothes and his weight and his looks. No, that's not how anyone responds. You're entertaining. Like there's a degree of that, and maybe you can be worked up into responding this way in person. Like it'll build to that, but you just don't walk up to someone and go, hey, fat fuck. That's not how DL would respond. So he's lying also.
Next one is black voice.
That's what really seemed to bother him. They play like a montage. We watched the entire 4 minutes, and somehow they made a montage of Jay being racist in their mind, and DL reacts to that.
And like he even said in there, that you've been famous for 65 years, and yet he can't even sell at the Bricktown Comedy Club in Oklahoma City.
I don't know who Big J is.
I think Jay's pretty successful.
Sound like a drag queen. I have no idea who that is. But I will grant you this: if somebody had said, because that's really incendiary. It's just like it's also incendiary to do the kind of voices and insult somebody's intelligence, which racist white people do all the time. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying that it's amazing how fast you.
What?
I'm not saying you are racist. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is that people that behave exactly like you are racist. How is that me calling you a racist?
It's the behavior of a racist. All right.
Look, why just call him a Nazi, Dio? If you think that. Like, I'll still disagree with you, but it would be a little more respectable if you were just like, oh no, you guys are all Nazis. I'm sticking, but don't do this thing now where you're like, I didn't say you were a Nazi. I said you guys seem a lot like Nazis.
Yes. He knows he might run into him at a comedy club in Oklahoma, and he's going to have to like have a way out, some wiggle room.
To DL's credit, I think he would confront Jay in some form or fashion. Like, I don't know, maybe Lewis will try to get him on or something. I don't know if DL would do it. But like I can imagine a world where DL and Jay have a conversation on air about this. It didn't seem like Jay was that interested in doing that. But like I don't know that DL would back away from that. But it is a cowardly thing to be like, I didn't call you a Nazi. I say you guys act like Nazis. Well,
Yes.
what's the fucking difference?
Yeah, I say they keep going back and forth. This feels like wrestling. So just keep going back and forth until it just reaches such a pitch that we have to see you together.
I would imagine they'll respond to it on Monday, I would think. And then I don't know if it dies there. I don't know what Jay's response will be, but we'll see.
Got to acting like one.
Well, I'm saying he is. And like, look, I would like to have a couple.
Listen to this asshole interject. Who is this guy? DL's co-host, producer or something?
Yeah, shoulderless Joe. Let's just call him that. He has no shoulders. Mike.
Got to acting like one.
Well, I'm saying he is. And like, look, I would like to have a couple things that we bring up from that clip. Like first, when you made the joke in the clip, like all these racist white guys want to do with freedom of speech is say the N-word.
Right.
You see him slow motion going like this, like, I know what I've done my whole life.
Right.
Secondly, he brought up.
I'm sure we're guilty of this at times, but my God, is that really reading into things? You could see on his face there where he's like, oh dear, I'm guilty of all of the stuff. DL's words are so powerful; they're getting to me right now. You saw that on his face, you fucking asshole.
Looks like he's just scratching his ear to me, but all right.
and that's silly also. By the way, like the idea that people that are for freedom of speech just want to say the N-word is ridiculous. I'm sure there are people that would utilize that. For sure, there are racists out there that want to say all the naughty things that they feel like they're not allowed to. But I don't think fighting for freedom of speech means you're a racist somehow. And trying to marginalize people in that way is a detriment to you. If you guys want to give your opinions on your show, I think it's very stupid to shame people for wanting to give their honest opinions and use all the language that they feel is necessary to do that.
Mike, there's forest thinkers and there's tree thinkers, and DL Hughley is a tree thinker. He's like, I can only see what's in front of me. I can't see the bigger picture here. This actually does affect me. If I limit speech of others, well, that's got a boomerang back. So,
and I don't know. I don't know enough about DL Hughley to determine whether or not he's dumb or smart or anything. I just haven't followed him closely enough. But it does him a complete disservice to label Tony a Nazi. It makes, I don't know if you're an idiot, DL, but it makes you sound like one when you're like, these guys are Nazis. Because then anyone... And like I said, Crackamico put out a great diss track on Chelsea. It was awesome. But even like Crackamico in that song says, "Don't make me defend Tony Hinchcliffe."
Yes. Oh my God, dude.
These Chelsea and DL in particular have made people who don't even like Tony that much defend him for 2 weeks because what they're saying is so ridiculous and does a disservice to humanity, not white people, not free speech. It does a disservice to all of us to be like Tony's a racist, because then just words don't matter at that point. Nothing means anything if we're gonna label Tony a Nazi.
You know how there's no word for the opposite of things in the modern lexicon? There is no word where you like defend something that you actually hate, right? Like that doesn't exist. It's a Hinchcliffe. Like you defend something that you hate, 1,000 years from now they're going to call it a Hinchcliffe.
And I don't even hate Tony. There's elements of him I'm not a huge fan of, but like I very much respect what he's built and how hard he's worked at that. And I think the last thing you could possibly label him is a Nazi. It just doesn't make sense. It's stupid.
Nazis hated queers. Hey-o.
Secondly, he brought up you talking about Farrakhan on the show.
I've never once mentioned Louis Farrakhan at all.
Yeah.
So he's fat and a liar, just like he lies on his diet.
Again with the fat joke. We got it. And I
Face
don't know.
to face.
He's fat and a lie. I've never mentioned Farrakhan. It's like, oh, good clapback, DL. You got him.
You could sample that and play that for Big J, and he could have fun with that. See how this works, DL? You could just keep doing that back and forth and back and forth. Face to face is the next one.
Oh yeah, so this is more. I think this is more of DL saying like, "Hey, say it to my face," sort of a thing. Which like, okay, I guess you too.
And he's not even a literate enough racist to think Farrakhan's funny. And then also what I'd love.
I didn't understand that. I didn't understand
joke,
that dig.
No, that's a great joke. I don't need to explain it to you. It's just awesome.
All right.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Like to note too is if one of his only quote unquote decent jokes, was talking about your hat, right? But the kicker is you didn't even wear that hat in the episode where the clip is happening. So he's been.
Oh my god.
Shit. Oh, Jay! Someone hand Jay a napkin. He's gonna be wiping egg off his face for some time.
I hate this guy on the right.
You weren't even wearing the hat he made fun of at that moment. You were wearing it a different time. This guy, stay out of it. Let DL respond to this. Who the fuck is this asshole?
Yes, we're starting to focus in on you, and you don't want that from this guy above me. Trust me. But what's your name, and where can we find your podcast?
I'm curious. Is he a co-host, or is he like I don't know what his role is on this show, but he's doing a lot of talking for DL, which I don't think DL needs.
He holds DL's umbrella.
Yeah.
Watching our show from 2 episodes ago where you wore that hat.
Here's a true thing. That is a Nick Foket hat, right?
Yeah.
I could trade that hat in and it'd be bigger than any payday he ever got. That's true spiel. Anybody, I'm an old dude, but I'm a dope old dude. What is he, 48?
Yeah.
I guarantee you I look better than him. I guarantee you I do. So I can understand.
We know what you both. Well, I don't, but everyone else knows what you both look like.
Yeah.
At one point, if somebody had said something that was incendiary to me and a lie.
Mike, you don't. Who's better? Who do you think is better looking? You're best to judge on this.
I think it depends on type, Looks are it's a wide spectrum.
It's true.
I could understand you going off, but when he started acting like acting out and talking about intelligence, which is what racists do, that's what we draw. And I guarantee you, if he and I were alone,
so we can't call you dumb or say what you're saying is dumb. Boy, that's a nice bubble to protect yourself in. Like if Jay says you're an idiot, then he's a racist. That's what racists do is call me dumb. only racists could think I'm saying a dumb thing right now. Like that's a very silly bubble to protect yourself in, and it does you no good. Mm-hmm. Like say oh, I'm awful. You can't call me dumb because I'm black. Like that's a very silly argument to make. If everyone's equal, it's just stupid.
I think it's viable. I'm going to steal it. Guys, shit on me in the comments, and I'm going to call you racist.
You're all racist. You're all terrible racists.
I would say just what I said. I doubt that he talked like that. And I think what happens to people like that, they think when they hang around black people and they're in that little sphere, he grew up and he was hanging out with Keith, who was a dope dude, and Patrice, who was dope.
I think you didn't know who he was. It's weird.
There's this whole history.
No, and granted, Big J mentioned Keith on the roast. I don't think he mentioned Patrice. So how does DL know that if he's never heard of this guy before?
We're all liars, Mike. All of us.
You get to say stuff like that. Take my name out your mouth, and you'll have more room for snacks, fat ass.
Wait, he's fat. We got it.
You know what? If you would have made the bet at the beginning of the segment, not one Ozempic joke. Congratulations. You did it.
He's slimming down, DL, you jerk. It's not nice.
God. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, just very, very silly, and it gets only sillier with Chelsea Handler, so we'll get to that.
Yay, super chats. Like, we got some super chats here. From Principled Uncertainty, 20 things. To correct Piers Morgan, apropos his Tim Dillon talk over interview, the UK does have censorship. Days ago, a father was taken to court for wishing the man who murdered his daughter would end himself whilst in jail. So they took his father to jail. Ugh.
I thought Tim Dillon was good. I watched that. Tim Dillon on Piers Morgan. I thought he did a good job.
I don't think there's anywhere where Tim Dillon sucks. He's like universally kind of adored at this point, right?
I'm sure with everyone there's a moment where it's like, well, here's where Tim Dillon changed. But yeah, I think so.
All right, we got Rick from New York for $4.99. Good morning, H-Man. Officially starting a petition for the return of HACKRIDE's weekly segments. Uh-oh. You've turned your back on him long enough. Hashtag BBHR.
Turn my back on who?
HACKRIDE. You've denied him from the internet long enough.
Oh, I see. I was like, isn't he here? I got you.
You cast one of your dirty blind spells on him, and he can't return until you lift it.
Yeah, well, maybe one day. We'll see.
See, people, we put pressure on. Green Treek 9, $4.99. DL. Oh, I don't know if I can say that.
Oh boy.
Let's just say no. That's a Krager's line. I'm going to leave that one for Krager's. We'll leave it here for next week. But
okay.
Has a let's just say it's not nice to DL. Yeah, Hidden Hand Media. Guys, be nice to Mike's channel. Hidden Hand Media, $2. Oh, great. Another producer that talks too much.
Who's you mean?
I don't know. Electra, probably. Saw you yapping. Yapping. All right. Oh, and we do have a, where is it here? We have a membership chat. 2 months of membership from DZD93. DL needs to go on Legion of Skanks, and they have to play Who Be Knowin' Black People.
I think that'd be a lot of fun, yeah.
That's the best idea for real for DL. Like, get this behind him in a way that's, comedian-like.
That's the thing with those guys, like, anyone that ends up doing that show would tell you these are not racist guys. They're silly. They're trying to have fun. It's ridiculous. So
much white knighting, Mike. And you want the queen of white knights.
This is an unbelievable example of white knighting because it's
definitional.
It's why. Thank God for Sherryl Underwood. Thank God Kevin Hart had her on the roast, or whoever booked her. It created such a magical moment in comedy where for some reason Chelsea Handler got humiliated and is not able to handle it, I guess. Shane went up and called her a Zionist and said she went to Jeffrey Epstein's house, which I think is the real reason for all of this. I get she had a fine. A lot of people say she bombed. I don't think she bombed, but I thought she was like the worst of the comedians who went up. But she had a couple like okay lines. But after the fact, how horribly she's handled this roast, it makes you wonder why she did. I guess this is her moment where no one's really thought about Chelsea Handler in 10 years. And she was very relevant. Like Chelsea Lately was a big show. It wasn't for me really, but I don't think it was supposed to be. But that was like a massive show, and she was very popular. And then she made this pivot to like, she was a lady who made like racial jokes and stereotype jokes. That was her whole show, basically. And then had this moment where she saw the culture drifting in a certain way, and she jumped on that train, and now like doesn't really have a lot left. So this is her moment, and she's trying to squeeze everything out of it. So she went on Dion Cole's show. And I don't know, I know Dion Cole used to like write for Conan, and I know he's been around for a long time. For whatever reason, he let her pontificate like this and didn't check her at all. But this is her going off on Tony and Shane again, post-roast.
I don't have a lot of, I'm 51, so like I'm pretty secure with who I am. Yeah. I don't care if these guys say that I'm a whore. Mm-hmm. Like
Chelsea. It was a roast. I don't care if these guys say I'm a whore. What were they going to say about you? Like, what do you think they should? You made your entire career, and Shane had a great joke where I'm going to butcher it, but it was something to the effect of Chelsea's been telling us she fucks a lot of men for 30 years. That's a really cool personality trait, huh? Like, that's Chelsea's entire act was like, I'm a slut. So they made fun of that on the roast, something you made public about yourself. They made jokes about it. You're still this devastated by it? This would be the equivalent of Kevin Hart coming out this week and being like, I get it's fine. They mentioned I'm black, and that's fine. It's like, well, no, you are, and it was a roast. I don't understand. I don't get this idea. Like, they mentioned things about me on a roast. What did you think was going to happen? You made fun of Shane and Tony's looks and personality traits. I don't get what you thought you were going to get back. It's amazing that that's how this starts. Like, they can call me a whore if they want. It's fine. Like, this victimhood.
I'm doing exactly what they're doing, except I'm a woman and I'm allowed to.
And that's real.
Yeah, I'm rich, I'm famous, and I'm hot. So I'm fucking people.
You're
Like
supposed to.
that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna continue to keep doing that as long as I remain as fuckable as I am. So I don't really see the problem.
Yeah, no, and I think a lot of other women should feel the same way out there, especially women that I run into.
Yeah, whether you're famous, whether you're famous or rich, those don't apply. But like the idea that, like, what were they going to say about me? They couldn't say anything other than that I'm a whore or my age. I think that was the other thing that they were.
How about you're a Zionist who dined with Jeffrey Epstein?
What?
And by the way, if you start looking into that, she had a relationship with Jeffrey. I'm not saying like deep ties to him, but they interacted more than once. It wasn't she got invited to some random house and then left in a huff. Well, I never. No, they were like they what's the word I'm looking for? They corresponded with each other for a time. Jeffrey Epstein was at events of hers and vice versa. So that's what they mentioned. They actually went kind of deep on you, Chelsea, for a roast especially. Like a roast kind of is generally surface level, and Shane went a level deeper, and that's actually what you're mad about. It's amazing to gloss over that is really glaring. It's like Cat Williams said about Kevin Hart, where he's like, Kevin Hart going to a Diddy party doesn't mean he did anything wrong. The fact that he gets all quiet and weird about it tells you he did something wrong. That's Chelsea Handler now, where she's like, all they had were my looks and my age. No, you mentioned the Epstein stuff. Why are you ignoring that? Maybe there's something more there.
I don't think she realizes how light they went on her with the Epstein stuff as well. Like that, they could have dropped a house on her with that stuff, and they just sort of like mentioned it and moved on. Like,
and the jokes she's like, oh, they called me a whore. Can you believe that? Like Tony, the cold, frigid bitch joke. Tony had some funny jokes about her being old and having a barren womb, but you could easily apply those jokes to someone Tony likes. Like they weren't so vicious where you're like, oh my God, how did he go there?
And you're like, well, okay, those aren't jokes. That's not clever writing. And I knew they would be lazy because they do that for a living. And I knew enough about
they be lazy for a living. They are lazy for a living. What is that? Again, you're making me defend Tony here, and Shane, I'll always defend. Like a word, you can use a lot of words to describe these guys. Lazy might be at the bottom of the list. Like they're two self-made guys who not only are self-made, were actively worked against by the business. Like they were cost opportunities unjustly and worked against that. Like Gillian Keeves is a thing Shane did on his own with John McKee. Like they did it on their own. Kill Tony is a thing. If you go back and listen to the first episode of Kill Tony, there's 12 fucking people there in the audience. And Tony grinded out for years and created something, like it or not, created the most popular show in comedy. Like they built something. They're not lazy. It's lazy, I think, to do no research on two guys, make a Riyadh joke that makes no sense and doesn't apply to them. Like I was trying to think of this. I guess you could apply that joke for anyone that doesn't know. The joke was, you guys supported Trump. Your hero has implemented the draft. Are you guys going to go over there and fight, or do you tough talking pussies only go over there for comedy festivals? Maybe Andrew Schultz that could apply to. Schultz had Trump on and then went to Riyadh. I can't think of anyone else the joke even applies to. Because she's like, I was talking about the lot of them that went to Riyadh. Well, it certainly doesn't apply to Pete Davidson and Kevin Hart. It makes even less sense for them, maybe. So that, I think, is lazy. To have other people write your jokes and have no concept of what they mean, I think is lazy. And they all have writers. Shane had writers, so I'm not saying that. But like to have no idea what you're saying on stage and just regurgitate someone else's words, that to me is lazy. Not what Shane and Tony have done.
Like Tony Hinchcliffe and Shane and their backgrounds. I had ex-girlfriends blowing up my DMs that had dated Shane and were telling me stuff about him. So based on that, I was like, oh, these guys are pretty bad.
So you had something on him.
Can I hear Casey?
You want to hear how it feels when an ex just shits all over you?
This is tough. And Shane, I'm sorry. I love Shane
Sorry,
Gillis.
Shane.
He's been good to me. This is tough to do. We've obtained audio of Shane's ex-girlfriend, Grace Brassel, on some podcast. Listen, and Shane, I'm sorry, but we're journalists here. We've got to be fair and balanced. Listen to Shane's ex-girlfriend skewer him on a public platform. This is tough.
I cannot. Yeah, I can't. Guys, guys.
Casey, it's your job. I'm telling you to do it. Play.
All right. I'm sorry, guys. We have to do it.
He was my best friend.
No.
And I think he's literally the most talented, funniest. Like, he's the GOAT.
Oh, you
and
bitch.
Something that really pissed me off about that time was that people were saying such mean things about him and being like, oh, she's like hot, she's a gold digger, like whatever. I'm so protective and like loyal. Like it really, and I never said anything about it, but I was like, fuck these fucking people, like shut up.
Yeah.
And he's hilarious and fuck you.
That's tough. I don't like to hear that kind of stuff. But I've respected Shane for a long time, and I don't like to hear that kind of stuff from an ex. It's pretty grim.
You know, it's hard to put that kind of hate on screen, Mike. It really, you know.
Now listen. Would every girl that Shane's dated have that opinion? I'm sure not. I'm sure he's been shitty in his life. But to throw out this vague allegation of they've been terrible to women, and I have a lot of people in my DMs, by the way. I can access your I can DM you, Chelsea, and be like, Tony's been very bad to me. Like anyone can lie. You fucking idiot. Also, who more reliable to paint someone's character than a scorned ex? Just trust them implicitly without looking into it at all. Let me hear what Chelsea said again about Shane's exes.
That had dated Shane and were telling me stuff about him. So based on that, I was like, oh, these guys are pretty bad.
So you had something on him that you could have. Tell us now. What shit Shane?
It's just everything we know, that they're racist, that they're bigots, that they're sexist.
Oh,
you know.
It seems like they had really good insight that you should run with, Chelsea. So a random stranger DM'd you on social media and goes, Shane's racist. And Chelsea's like, oh my God. This is the smoking gun. Finally, I've got it.
Oh, that's
racist. Because a girl on Instagram messaged me that.
They think they're like invincible, that they've been canceled for being like, you know, Shane got fired from SNL, but then was on SNL years later. So he got fired. So what happened in between those two events? So he believes, this is per one of his exes, that he's invincible. He's like, doesn't matter. I can say anything I want.
Yeah. Do you think that?
Can I tell you something? I don't think you need to be an ex-girlfriend of Shane. I don't know if it's really one of his exes that said that. Shane has said on podcasts before, he's like, I guess one like benefit of that is like, it's out of the way. Like there's nothing they can dig up on me now and call me a racist. Like it's been done. I don't think he thinks he's invincible because of that, but he's talked about that publicly. And I think Shane has a very interesting perspective on that stuff. And Shane is a guy that could have gone into making that his identity, like where he's the guy that got canceled, and he could have really leaned into that and had this following of like politically based people that guys like Jeff Dye and Tyler Fisher clamor for. But Shane didn't do that. He was creative and he put his head down and kept doing what he was doing. He kept doing what got him an audition for SNL and didn't change who he was. And so this idea that like, and by the way, if you want to call Tony arrogant, I think she just fucked up. She doesn't know which is which of them. And I think she just fucked up the argument. If she was like, Tony's arrogant and thinks he's invincible, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds right. You've got the right guy there. See, and by the way, does Shane, I'm sure, have moments where he loses touch and like, you know, you sell out arenas so you feel like you're invincible? Sure, that would be totally natural. But she's building the argument that he's a Nazi again. And it just doesn't fit or make any sense.
Now, a lot of like white comics, they feel as though that they can say something racist and it's going to further their career.
Oh, yeah, they're going to get in with that group of like Roganites and that Austin group of Joe Rogan and all of those guys.
Kevin Hart, those guys.
Kevin. Sherryl Underwood, you know, Austin guys.
All the racists.
And I just, like that's their MO. Even some girl comics have started to do it, to be like in with that group. Yeah.
Unlike you, Chelsea, you didn't completely change who you were, by the way. You and Steve Byrne put out a post that I thought was good. Steve Byrne put out a post where Chelsea Handler made these dumb stereotype jokes on The Tonight Show years ago. Like Angelina Jolie adopted an Asian baby, and Chelsea Handler was like, does she know that it's not going to be able to drive and it's going to open a nail salon? Like dumb hack stereotype jokes. That's the other thing, too, is like Chelsea was a hack racist for years. That's what she seems to be forgetting. But if you want to talk about someone who has glommed on to an ideology for clout, that would be you, Chelsea Handler. You gone to be kidding me, or whatever that dumb special was. Like, that's you. That's what you're doing, not what these guys are doing. And if you want to accuse Shane of doing that, well, then he's done it since anyone has known who he... Like, Shane's had the same personality since he was a nobody podcaster. So it's, again, a very silly, uninformed, ignorant argument.
Yeah.
So it's like they say this racist. Yeah, because I'm starting to feel that. I'm starting to feel like it's this thing that a lot of white comics are doing, and there's this group of them that's like they saying things, and people, they get famous, and then people get on their ass, but then there's another group going, hey, well, you're cool with us for saying what you say.
Yeah.
Now they become super rich and famous, and they sell out all over. And it's like, I don't think anybody should be paying attention to that, because, it's not happening like that on the other end. But they're becoming famous over this shit. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's crazy. So with this whole, did you feel, did you like the shit they were saying up there though? Like,
no, it was it.
What do you think, Dion?
What a question.
Yeah, no, I thought they were actually very funny. What the fuck do you think, Dion?
It was gross. I don't find those jokes to be funny. Jokes about lynching black people, or lynching is not a joke. That's worse than rape.
It's really a joke on the size of the tree.
Casey, I ask you this maybe twice a week, but I'm going to pin you down on an answer here. Would you rather be lynched or raped? Let's finally get to the bottom of this. It's worse than rape. Are we grading now? It's worse than rape.
Is there an all of the above?
Now, would you, play that again, actually, Casey. Let me hear her say that again, if you wouldn't mind.
No, it was ick. It was gross. I don't find those jokes to be funny. Jokes about lynching black people, or lynching is not a joke. That's worse than rape. Like, you're not joking about rape, are you? Are you saying, I'm going to go rape you? You can't do that, but you can say lynching? Like,
no, let me ask you that. Casey, if you wouldn't mind, I thought about going to find a joke from the old Chelsea Lately days, and then I said, let's go a little sooner. Let's go to 2 weeks ago on the Kevin Hart roast. Let's hear a topic that Chelsea Handler thinks is okay to joke about.
Yes, give me 1 second here. Grabbing. Now I had to timestamp the...
You guys tell me if this is... Listen. Lynching and rape have been brought into the equation. Tell me, yeah, right. Tell me where parents of Sandy Hook victims or Parkland victims or Columbine victims, what would they think about this joke, I wonder?
Tony, you have the face of a school shooter and the personality of someone who gets shot first.
Fine, but so school shooting is good.
Yes, okay.
And rape is bad.
All right, making my list.
Who's grading these, Chelsea? And by the way, Chelsea shouldn't get any. She should absolutely be able to tell that joke. It's a fine joke, whatever. I would even go as far as to say, like, that's a decent burn on Tony. Yeah, I think it's been done before. That seems like kind of an old... It's a bit hack, but there's some leeway on roast for that stuff. But, so school shooting is allowed. But lynching and rape are not. You can't joke about these things. That's where she digs into herself into this hole, and she's too dumb to realize the hypocrisy she's backing herself into.
It's comedy bingo. You just got to pick the right one.
And I could have done I thought about doing an entire segment of all the hypocritical, all the race jokes that were made on Chelsea Lately. She had no respect for Joan Rivers. There's a clip going around now. We talked about it when we did our Joan Rivers episode. But Joan Rivers was like, fuck this bitch. She has no respect. She completely disrespected Joan Rivers when Joan was alive. And then when Joan died, by the way, Chelsea Handler doesn't have a career without Joan Rivers. Like it's just, that's the complete mold that Joan Rivers created. Chelsea Handler essentially copied. And then when Joan died, all of a sudden Chelsea was like, what an inspiration. And she literally said this woman who insulted Joan Rivers while she was alive then did a benefit where she said, man, it really wasn't until Joan died that I realized the influence she had on female comedians. Really? So you insulted her while she was alive, and now you're taking credit for realizing what an inspiration she was? Like, she's a sickening person, this Chelsea Handler. I don't think she has any real beliefs. And I think some of the usual suspects, like people that are just gone and want to call people racists and Nazis, they were on board being like, you go, girl, Chelsea did it. But I do think clear-minded people, even though like women that like Chelsea Handler or whatever, listen to that and they're like, man, she's just off on this one. Like, this seems like a self-righteous, butthurt way to go about getting roasted. Like, they had some jokes that you didn't like that Shane mentioned you went to Jeffrey Epstein's house. Yeah, just say you didn't care for that. Say, I wish Shane didn't bring that up. And then we can all move on with our lives.
It's not, that's worse than rape. Like, you're not joking about rape, are you? Are you saying I'm going to go rape you? You know you can't do that, but you can say lynching? Like,
so you're willing, Chelsea, to say, I know for a fact Shane and Tony have never joked about rape. Or will you move the goalpost when you realize they have joked about that stuff? And we'll hear later that, like, Shane and Sherryl Underwood talk about that. I can't wait to get to the Sherryl Underwood stuff because it blows Chelsea's entire argument. I've never seen someone get owned accidentally like this, trying to white knight for someone.
And the thing is, Chelsea just gets to go, oh, well, fine then, Cheryl, and go drink her latte and go back to her rich white life. Like, that is the thing about white knighting. It's gross.
It's great to be like, well, Sherryl Underwood is wrong. She's a victim, whether she wants to accept it or not. Let's finish this out.
I find that to be, I don't know, you know, people are like, it's a roast, you go for it. I'm like, you can go for it without being gross. Yeah. Like, I find that to be gross. I found them making fun of Sherryl Underwood's, like, dead husband who committed suicide. Like,
a skin color.
You know, she's fine with that. If she says she's...
Boy, Dion Cole is not getting it.
I think we got a new boogie on our hands.
Her... Boy, that sounds offensive if you don't know the context.
I know.
There's a man. It's a whole thing. It's not as offensive as you think.
Chelsea's going to come after us. God damn it. I'm sorry.
But Chelsea going, I mean, they made fun of Cheryl's dead husband, and Dion Cole going, and her skin color. Can you please? It's like, well, one of these things doesn't quite match up.
She's fine with that. She's fine with that. I wasn't fine with that. I thought that was disgusting too. Wow. But there was so much disgustingness that I knew it was going to be such a, like, gross vibe that I would be able to elevate it, no problem. Yeah. And that's what I went to do. I was like, all right, well, I'll pick it up because they're going to try and bring it down. Yeah. And Kevin didn't deserve that. He deserved, like, an elevated.
Kevin asked them to be there. I don't know if that's true about Tony, but he asked Shane to be there, Chelsea.
I bet Kevin's loving all this. I gotta just say, I bet, like, you know.
I'm sure. Yeah, Kevin did the whole thing where, like, we brought comedy back, man.
Yeah.
We saved. So, yeah, I think Kevin Hart is probably loving that his name is attached to all this. And that's part of it, where they're white knighting for these people that don't need it. And the self-importance to say, I don't care if Sherryl was offended by the jokes about her husband. I think it's gross. I don't want them to do it. Well, Sherryl did. So it's none of your fucking business.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. When you see other black people laughing at that, does it make you go, all right, whatever? Or do you think to yourself, what the fuck are they laughing at that for?
I mean, I'm not here to tell black people what's funny about black jokes. Like, no, I'm not here in the world to do that. Like, I know enough to just, that's my opinion. I don't like that. I also don't like the N-word, but I have plenty of black friends who toss that around all the time. It's not my place to say, oh, that word makes me.
I've never heard anyone denounce the N-word before. That's very big of you, Chelsea.
Feel uncomfortable. Right. You know, black people are allowed to do whatever they want. If Kevin thinks that's funny, he thinks that's funny. I don't think it's funny.
Carte blanche.
That seems extreme. No one's allowed to do whatever they want.
Right.
Right.
Well, it's very brave, and you know what? Sherryl Underwood, I kind of feel bad for because she probably felt guilted into accepting a lot of those jokes, and it takes a brave woman like Chelsea Handler to speak out because Sherryl Underwood is kind of voiceless. You know, she's this person that no one really cares to hear from, and she can't protect herself. And let's hear some clips from the latest Matt and Shane Secret podcast.
That's why I said what I said at the
Who
roast.
is this?
They gave her a mic. Oh my God.
Did they let some black lady on Matt and Shane? Not on my watch.
I was fooled by the jeans. Then I looked up and I'm like, that's a blackface.
So great. When I saw the episode dropped, Sherryl Underwood on Matt and Shane's Secret podcast, I was like, how? And by the way, it was like 2 hours after this Dion Cole episode dropped. So perfect how ridiculous this made Chelsea look. She also did, she'll mention it in here somewhere. She also did Kill Tony. I kind of wish they were on it. I wish that came out first just because that'd be a cool moment to see her on. I don't know if she's on with Shane or what the deal is. But a very cool Sherryl Underwood. She, by the way, get ready for the dogs. There's going to be an influx of backwards Philadelphia Eagles hats in her crowd because I think some of the dogs are going to go out and support Sherryl Underwood. She's proven she's an actual comedian through all of this. I think she's gained a lot of fans. She's got a Netflix special now. So this is a huge opportunity for Sherryl Underwood, and she seems to be capitalizing. I don't know if her comedy is... I don't know her comedy at all, really. I didn't know... It's very rare that there's a comedian that's been working as long as Sherryl Underwood has that I don't at least like know their name. Mm-hmm. I don't think I had heard her name before I wasn't really familiar with Sherryl Underwood as a comedian. And this has made me a fan. So I think a lot of people feel that way.
Micah, here she kills. All right, here we go.
I don't know if I get it.
You're not going to agree.
Well,
hold on. I don't know if I get it.
Well, if you live with her, you know.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
It's a roast, and it's a new generation of roast. It's no longer Rimshot, Don Rickles, Dean Martin, Pearl Bailey, Lucille Ball.
And it wasn't in a small room where we're all friends. This is in an
no.
arena on national television. We never met.
That's right. And it's international.
Yeah.
Right. But what I liked about it was you could see the camaraderie. And I think even talking about the George Floyd joke that Tony told, but I believe on the side of the Cookout crew, Pete Davidson represented with the Charlie Kirk joke.
I agree. You got to be offended.
That's one thing, too, that I meant to mention. Were DL and Chelsea, were they offended by Pete Davidson's joke? It's weird how that works. Weird they don't mention that.
By both or neither. That's how I felt about that. But.
That's right. But you should be, the reaction should be offense. The Floyd family should be upset. There should be a crew of people that are mad because that's the reaction you have, right? Because you're not thinking about freedom of speech. You're thinking about your brother who was murdered by a system. But on the same token, I tell people it's a roast and it's a new generation of roasters because everybody's like, sure, how did you feel that they talked about your dead husband committing suicide? Okay, it really truly happened, and it happened over 30 years ago.
Also, I called you.
Yes, and that's why I
For the
said
record.
Well, remember when I did all the interviews.
I would never, ever do that without,
Yeah, but let me tell you something, Shane. Knowing you, knowing Tony, like I'm sitting next to Tony, this motherfucker is ordering Crown and Coke. And I'm like, so people think you a bigot, but you really a black man. you look like
you
Tony
see
Robbins.
his apartment.
Oh, it's a black pimp. It's a black pimp.
It's crazy.
I see that's what I thought.
I mean, crazy.
That's exactly what I
has a throne. He has a
He has like 2 or 3 different gold thrones. I was there 2 nights ago.
You lying.
It's literally the blackest place I've ever seen in my life.
I'm telling you, that's the feeling I got sitting next to him. I was like, you're black. You either something. Who beat him up in school?
I think a lot of people. I think he got his ass whooped a lot, if I had to guess.
I don't know. You tell me, guys. You listened to that. You heard the Chelsea Handler Dion Cole clip. You heard that with Matt and Shane and Sherryl Underwood. Who are the comedians in these groups? Is it the people laughing, saying Tony's a black man and making fun of his ridiculous thrones in his apartment? Or is the people going, now, what is too far when it comes to jokes? You tell me who the real comedians are. And Sherryl Underwood makes such a great point, too. George Floyd's family is not supposed to laugh at that joke, to go to them and go, what did you think about the joke about George Floyd? Of course they should be, but they shouldn't love it. And they can, by the way. They can love it and laugh at it, and maybe that will help them heal if they're those type of people. But also, for them to hear strangers mock the death of a family member, I get why they wouldn't love that. But to go to them, it is so like the opposite of what journalism is supposed to be. To reach out to George Floyd's family and be like, did you laugh about the joke where Tony called Kevin Hart black? Whatever the joke was.
Yeah. Miss Floyd, what's got you laughing?
It's so ridiculous. And the opposite, to be like, to go to Charlie Kirk's family and be like, hey, do you think it's funny that Charlie died? It's like, well, that's not what the joke is. You fucking ridiculous assholes.
Next up, the response.
Yeah, so, it's so amazing to hear all these people, like, get in a circle and hold hands and think, oh, man, what Sherryl has had to go through is really, it's intolerable. We can't stand for this. And then to hear Sherryl respond to it was so amazing. And she's proven, like, she is a real comedian. This is how comedians are supposed to respond. And I think there's going to be a lot of new comedy fans supporting Sherryl Underwood.
Can I tell you honestly, and that's what I've been doing in the interviews, is telling people, listen, if they had not come with respect and said, these are the topics,
yeah,
but I didn't know what was going to be said. And I did not know that Tony was going to do the George Floyd joke.
Yeah.
But when he did it, like I was over there like scribbling on paper and asking God, send me the response. Send me the response like the response to you. Send me the response, but I don't want to be mean-spirited. But with Tony and the George Floyd joke, my only feeling is if you don't have the right response that blows up the room even further, you've set back the cause. So sometimes it's say less. If you ain't got nothing good to cut his throat with, figuratively about comedy, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because you're going to make it worse, in my opinion. What do you think?
I agree. I think you know.
I love that so where she's like, I got up and tried to hit Tony worse than he hit anyone else. Like that's within the confines of the roast. That's what you're supposed to do. This idea of now doing a tour of interviews where you go on Don Lemon's show and Howie Mandel's show and Dion Cole. You go around and do the circuit and you go, oh man, what they did to Sherryl, that was tough. I don't know how we heal as a nation. Like, that's not comedy. It's not in the spirit of what the roast was supposed to be. Like, go up and do it there. And Chelsea did this thing where she called Shane and Tony the Riyadh racists that made no sense, but she felt like she did something. So good for you. You got your point across. Unfortunately, your point made no sense, Chelsea. And that's what this all... Chelsea is ultimately mad. And you even heard it last week when we played the clips of her with Don Lemon. You can tell she realized she fucked up with the Riyadh, where she just got it wrong. Like not only did they not go to Riyadh, they turned it down. So she's doubling down and being like, I don't care if they went to Riyadh, they're racists. It's like, well, no, you're wrong again, Chelsea. You keep saying shit that makes it impossible to support what you're doing.
I think if these people walked around with like a little bracelet on that said WWDRD, what would Don Rickles do? It would help him because it puts you in like the right mindset.
People compare it to that, but I will say, like, the difference is, and Shane and Sherryl mentioned it, like those Dean Martin roasts, they were all friends. The new form of roasting, none of them know. It's not the Friars Club where like it's this insular group. None of these people know each other. I mean, Shane and Tony and Jay know each other. Like there are sects of the group that know each other. But like they're not all friends. And in Tony and Shane's case, they don't like Chelsea and Chelsea doesn't like them. So it is harder to like, and just the jokes have gone up a level where it's like, oh, Cheryl's husband took his own life. We better joke about that. Whereas, Rickles wasn't saying that to Sinatra back in the day. So like it's a different animal that they're dealing with. But Chelsea is being unfair in pretending she doesn't realize they're all supposed to make these harsh jokes. Like I said, Chelsea made a school shooter joke. Like, you're telling me that's okay, but a lynching joke isn't, but a rape joke is? Who's making these rules? And Chelsea knows as well as anyone, it's just bullshit. It's something you do when someone says something you don't like, is make up the rules around them being wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like especially with the late husband talk, it was like this deeply personal, like a tragedy. And the thing no one talks about is like, that's like horrific to even think about, and to be up there and just like laughing and making like a joke. To me, it's like a triumph where you're like, you rose above it. You made a big joke out of everything. No one ever talks about that. They're like,
That's right.
I thought it was, I watched it. I was like, this is beautiful. And then you came up, and I think Shane said a lot of your stuff was kind of like off the cuff, the last minute, not even on the teleprompter. I was like, that like really blew me away. Because I was like, how do you do that in that room? I would be glued to the teleprompter, sweating, reading it. And to be like, all right, I have my own notes. I just formulated on a stage, on live TV, in front of an arena of people. I really was. I was like, this is amazing.
Faith in God.
Yeah.
Ask God, send me the words. Feeling safe, feeling like I'm not being attacked, so I don't have to be defensive. I don't have to be thin-skinned. And culturally, we crack jokes when he died.
What? Sheryl, you bitch. That's not okay. Sheryl, you're not allowed to do that. Don't you know?
No. It often happens when a musician's partner dies, they want to write a song about it, but that is not allowed. No, you cannot do art about your partner.
And she used the right word to like this being so thin-skinned about it. Like it would be perfectly okay if Chelsea was like, I got to be honest, like they hit a lot of my insecurities. And like I didn't realize they were going to do that, and I was more uncomfortable than I thought I would be. I would just be honest. But to lash out at them and be like, they're racists and they're gross and what they're doing is wrong and lazy and what I'm doing is correct and real comedy. She's lying. Like, she's just lying, and I love that Sherryl Underwood is just like, so many people, I don't know if Sherryl knew what she was doing, if this was intentional or what. I think so many people would be influenced and almost incentivized by taking the role of victim and going on with Don Lemon and Chelsea Handler and being like, guys, to drudge up those memories of my husband, that was like, to play the victim, it would be appealing to a lot of people. And a lot of people would have fallen into that trap. And one of two things, Sherryl is just real enough or realized what a comedy audience is and said, I'm not going to lean into that. I'm going to lean into what a comedian would do. And she had the exact right approach on it. And there was something else I wanted to say, and I just can't remember. Go back a little bit. Maybe it'll trigger something in my memory.
Yeah. And Don Lemon's producers, like 5 seconds after this roast, were calling Sherryl Underwood. Like, let's get her on.
Remember the clip we played last week? She was on the same episode. And what I love so much is Chelsea spent the first half hour being like, these are gross racists. And Sherryl came on and was like, I love these boys. These boys have restored my faith in white men.
My friends.
These are the greatest boys I've ever met in my life.
Not since Lincoln, I think, was your words last week.
Yeah.
Crack jokes. When he died, we did. We cracked jokes. I had to call my father and go, can you come here and identify the body? My father was like, why? I was like, because you're my daddy. Go on in there. Go on in there and look. Go on in there. But in stress, sometimes humor equalizes stress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the other thing is like, so Cheryl's not allowed to laugh at that stuff? Like sometimes that's a good thing, and you almost want people to joke about that.
You have to. If DJ ELECTRA Fry was here, she would tell you, as many years of being a nurse, they developed this sort of like crazy sense of humor because they see life and death.
Humor, they call it.
They life and death all day, so you got to joke about it. And so, yes, that's why she gets her wicked.
Of course. And by the way, if that's not for you, like I know a lot of people that wouldn't be able to take that. I might be one of them. Like, I don't know if I could take the brutality of what like a roast is now. I would say don't do it. You know, like if that style of humor is not for you, or you think you're going to be insecure about it or sensitive to it, don't do it. That's also fine. Don't watch it. That's fine. But these roasts have hit such a scale where, like, this version of roasting is not for everybody. Like, it used to be on the Dean Martin roast were on NBC or whatever they were on. This is not for everybody. Like a George Floyd joke and a Charlie Kirk joke, that's just by definition not for everybody. But they've become these things that they have, you know, big names on. Kevin Hart is mainstream appeal, and it's live on Netflix, and it's like an event, and everyone's supposed to watch it. So it has this anticipation of like, everyone's supposed to like this. Just don't watch it. It's not for you if you're someone that is going to be bothered by that.
And the people that love it, love it. That's why the idea I had last week is amazing. We just need roasts of like George Floyd, roasts of everything that happens terrible in our society. Then we'll heal.
Amazing is an interesting word, but
it's amazing. Yeah. All right, time for analyzing humor, Mike. It's your forte.
It's my job, Sheryl, but I'm not be stepping on my toes here.
When you say culturally, sometimes humor is the thing. It's the most uncomfortable humor that really kind of it kind of lessens the tension and the stress. When you say,
Yeah, absolutely.
do you feel you've ever gone too far in something?
Yeah, for sure. But then you're like, you know, as soon as you do it in a club, as soon as you're wrong, you go, oh, shit. My bad.
But I mean, puns are supposed to get groans. Scatological humor, shit jokes, you know, they make you giggle like a kid. You know, the analysis of humor is what I love. But if you dissect the joke so hard, it's like a frog. You got to kill it to dissect it.
Yeah.
But to me, for the people who are upset and on social media, I feel like you have a right to be that, because now I get to talk about mental illness in men, and specifically Black men, that men feel, I don't need therapy, I don't need this, I don't need that, right, in this society. But people say, well, how could you sit there? Oh, it was offensive. Well, don't be offended for me if I'm not offended, but be offended.
Hear that, Chelsea?
You go, girl. I just loved, like, Sheryl not only took the right opportunities, but like handled it in such a right way where she's not. This is what I wanted to mention before. I'll guarantee you, because she's not groveling, that she's actually giving her opinions. She's not saying what she thinks Matt and Shane want to hear. Like, she's talking about this from her own perspective. She did say on this podcast, she mentioned that she's a Republican. It seemed, based on the way she's describing it, like, she's not necessarily a Trump supporter, but she has always been a Republican, and she's religious. I wouldn't be shocked if that group, and by that group I mean like Chelsea's people that are on Chelsea's side, if you start to see the worm turn on Sheryl a little, where they're like, actually, Sheryl's a piece of shit. You know, like they were all protecting her, but the second you go against them, it doesn't matter if you're a Black woman. Now, like we were saying, this is a proud Black woman before, but she's gone against that group, and now she might, be not protected anymore. So it'll be interesting to see if they support Sheryl in the same way they did before, because she doesn't fit what they close-mindedly need a Black woman to be. Like, to them, and by them again, I mean like Chelsea and the people that agree with Chelsea's point on this stuff. Sheryl is not behaving the way a Black woman is supposed to. She went on these racist podcasts. Maybe she's a racist also. So like, then it gets to the point where it doesn't make any sense. So Cheryl's racist against herself now. Like, it's just all bullshit. It's essentially them yelling, "I'm right no matter what." And no matter what flies in the face of their point, like Sheryl going on this podcast, they're still going to be determined to be right. It'll never change anything.
I think Sheryl's exposed Chelsea for like the performative hobby that a lot of middle-aged white women participate in. And again, they just get to go back to their comfortable lives when it doesn't work out exactly how it does for them. So get out of here.
I certainly can't speak for every Matt and Shane fan or every Kill Tony fan or whatever. But I'll tell you this, I legitimately can't wait to thumbs up Sherryl Underwood's Netflix special.
Yes.
I'm a fan of hers now. If she comes to the area, maybe I'll go see her live. Like, I don't think this racist crew of guys, the podcast bros, like Don Lemon said, like that all now support Sherryl Underwood. Would a group of Nazis do that, or however DL Hughley painted all these people? I don't think so.
Or your point of view, and you can have your point of view.
Yeah.
We're not saying you can't have it. Have it all on social media.
Yeah, and she's pretty maybe even more clear-minded than I am about it, where she's like, have that opinion. Say fucking Shane's a racist if you want, whatever. But it's all bullshit, you know? You can get angry, but it's not how the people up on that stage felt, except for Chelsea Handler, I guess.
Tragedy and comedy, Mike.
It's a very important mixture. And like I said, all these people that felt, you can't do that. You can't joke about suicide. Well, this is a woman whose husband took his own life and like lived through that. And this is her perspective on it.
Like tragedy can't come to your door like it comes to anybody else's door. So the first thing I thought, what is funny about this? What is funny? A lot of people say, well, why would you make a joke about being raped? And after I was raped, I went to the stage with it because that's the place where I'm most comfortable.
No, Sherryl, you're not allowed to. Chelsea told us earlier. Sherryl, you're breaking the rules. You're not allowed to joke about rape. Chelsea said so.
Nope. Only child shooting. Only murdering children in schools. That's all you're allowed to joke about.
I wish Sherryl checked in with Chelsea before doing this interview.
In talking to people
Fuck, I didn't know
about
that.
something. You feel?
Could have used that one in the roast.
Yeah, I thought you were. No. They told me that you guys might talk about me
I
being
didn't know.
raped.
I would first of all, I would definitely not do that. I'll go, hey, this lady got raped.
Sheryl's the best. No, they told me you might joke about me getting raped, and Shane's like, Jesus Christ.
He used a screwdriver too. Work that in. Jesus.
About me
I didn't
being
know.
raped.
I would first of all, I would definitely not do that. I'll go, hey, this lady got raped. What a loser.
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
Crazy.
But would you say that is what roasting is now? It's no longer you a hockey puck. Roasting in y'all generation in this time span of comedy, you hit really below the belt. And for me, I feel like the only thing you got to deal with, you ain't got to deal with me because I'm your colleague. You got to deal with the motherfuckers outside on behalf of what they mad about, right? But to me, if you worry about that, you restrict yourself to great comedy, right? So for me, every tragedy in my life, I bring it to the stage so that I can show the audience you can survive any tragedy. If God lets you open your eyes the next day, okay, survive it. Because we talking shit, you know, if one of your relatives at the hospital that you hate, and we all in the hospital room going, if we could just pull the plug on this motherfucker. And see how we all laugh?
Yeah.
That's what humor does. Even though we know we not gonna do it, or one of us might, but the rest of us not. That's what humor is for. It's gallows humor. It's Irish wakes.
Yeah.
It's black funerals. It's funny. Black funeral, hey, dig that motherfucker up and check his pockets. Why? Because he owed me $50. That's humor that gets you over tragedy.
Where's this woman been all my life? I love Sherryl.
Amen. Yeah, Jesus.
I love Sherryl Underwood. She really was great on that podcast. It was awesome to see her playing along with everything. And she really is like, there's a lot of wisdom in what she's saying too. And she's the benefit of being older and not having grown up in the generation where cancel culture was as rampant. But that's the thing I don't even think we've really given enough credence to, is that what all that cancel culture shit did, like Shane getting in trouble and Tony and all the stuff that happened from like 2016 on. I mean, before that, of course, too, but like that's when it really started to get crazy. I think that kneecapped a generation of comedians. Like, that's the way we'll never know how big the impact of cancel culture was. Where, like Sherryl pointed out there's people that grew up with the mindset of, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that, that's too far, this shouldn't be joked about, that's a taboo subject. And they'll just never even mention it. They'll never attempt to joke about it. Like, Shane and Tony are old enough to kind of be on the other side of that. But if Shane and Tony were 23 years old in 2020, they would have never made half the joke. Like, just your mindset is completely different because we've told you, like Chelsea Handler, we heard that, you're not allowed to joke about this or that. So their mind doesn't even go there creatively because they feel like the world is going to cave in on them. So yeah, Sherryl added an amazing perspective. It was it's amazing to see her because this is also very rare. Usually it would be like if Sherryl Underwood disagreed with Chelsea Handler, it would be like a fuck you thing where there's now like a war where Chelsea and Sherryl are at odds with each other. It seemed almost like Sherryl didn't even know the podcast tour that Chelsea was going on. And she comes on and just completely dismantles everything Chelsea was saying. Like there's nothing to what Chelsea was saying just if you listen to Sherryl Underwood. So she did an amazing job. I think that'll be a cool moment when she's on Kill Tony. Maybe it'll have lost its luster because of the Matt and Shane episode. But good for Sherryl. I think she gained a lot of fans this week.
She gained one with me, that's for sure. And also with Todd Jodio in here. I bet she makes a great lemon pound cake. She does. Sherryl looks like she can cook. Like, I would eat anything that she makes.
It was a soothing, motherly appearance.
Like a grandmother almost, you know? Like, you just want to sit in a rocking chair and listen to, like, old-time stories.
Yeah.
All right. Mike, it's that time. We got a few here, and then we'll get to the main event. Which is
yeah, we're going back to Philly, guys. Very excited.
Back to Philly, kinda. It's weird. Green Treek 9 $4.99. Chelsea Handler. Oh god damn it! I think I can say this one. Chelsea Handler is chimping out, y'all. Right.
Oh well, that's a Chud the Builder reference.
Yeah. Now you can see what I couldn't say before, Mike. But I think I'm okay with that.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. That's actually pretty smart, Green Tree. Got it on there. Brando 807. Who's this guy? $2. Is Mike saying she axed for it? Damn it. Was she axed? AXED. What was she wearing? Okay. What was she wearing? Oh, because of the R. She got R'd. And what was she wearing? Brando. Bad boy Brando. And that is it. Now are you ready to go and back to Philly?
All right, enough of this grimness. I think we're probably done with the roast, right? there's no way more happens. I think we're good. We can close on that.
We still talk about Saudi Arabia. The roast will go until October, I think.
All right. Well, let's try for a brief moment at least to get past all that and move on. Let's head to Philadelphia. Let's go back to Philly where it all began because Joe Matarese promises us in the next 5 to 8 years, he's going to move to Philadelphia. And you're probably saying, Mike, 5 to 8 years, we're going to need a podcast documenting that journey every week. Well, good news. You got one. Joe has started the road back to Philly. I predict this lasts 3 weeks. I'm going to give this one 3 weeks. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. But let's get into it. Joe Matarese driving down the road back to Philly.
He's the opposite Fresh Prince. He's moving back to Philly. That's amazing.
He never really lived in Philadelphia. He's from Jersey.
This whole thing is crazy. He's doing a show he's not leaving for 4 years. He's like, this is my freshman show. When I'm a senior,
I'm going back to near where I grew up in a certain amount of years, and that's the podcast.
First time hearing it. I like this. You guys like it? Good theme, right?
That right there, that 10 seconds defines Joe Matarese.
It really does. You're absolutely right. Do you like this?
Also,
Joe should keep doing podcasts titled "Do You Like This?"
Do you like this?
That should be the whole episode where Joe just keeps going, "Do you like this? Hey, this is an episode of me and my 2 Dago friends at a fucking pizza shop. Do you like this? This is an episode where I talk about my medication. Do you like this? This is where I talk about the Eagles. Do you like this?"
Mike, it's even deeper than that because he goes, I haven't heard it, so I'm lazy. I haven't heard this. This is my own intro for my show. I haven't heard it. Oh, I'm hearing it. I like it. Do I like things? Do I like what I like? People, what do you think? It's like the whole Matarese experience in 10 seconds. Listen to this.
Do you like this?
First time hearing it. I like this. You guys like it? Good theme, right? All right, everybody. Welcome. You got episode 1 here of the road back to Philly, and it's been hard for me to. Do I say the, or do you get rid of the? It's episode 1.
Joe,
it's like you're feeling things.
You should have a few more meetings about this first before you go. Is it the road back to Philly or road back to Philly? Man, the executives and consultants that would be in on that meeting. Who gives a fuck, Joe? Pick one.
What a soft way to tell your wife you want to move. In 4 years, honey, I'm just going to start this show. Maybe we can move.
Listen, I've been guilty of being passive aggressive.
It's the most passive aggressive.
But if this whole podcast was like, hey, I don't think the cat should sleep in our room. Do you guys?
It's exactly what it is.
I'll be back every week. We'll decide. Should the cat sleep in the bed with us or no?
Litter box in the bedroom? Wire in. Put it in chat.
He's out. I like Road Back to Philly, right? Episode 1, pilot episode, new podcast, brand new, still doing 3 friends, 1 booth. Still got that one. All right.
Thank God. Oh, I can rest a little easier now. Thank goodness.
We still have the prestige media empire still going, guys. Relax.
So don't think that one's gone. We're going to do that one when we can from live at VIDOES, and then other times we'll probably do it from in studio in Haddonfield. But and also as we fade this music down a little bit, we got a producer here. A little shout out to Dan Rubio in a whole other state. Dan. Whole other state, Dan. I always think you live in Iowa, and I know.
Man, that really is the magic of podcasting. You guys aren't even in the same state.
It's discovering what the internet is.
Where's
No,
he
it's
moving?
not.
Maybe season 2 as we learn where Dan is moving.
Maybe it's a race. Who will get there first, Dan or Joe?
Not Iowa. Is it Iowa?
No, it's Utah.
It's Utah. I always get Iowa. My learning disability will not let me know Utah and Iowa. I don't know what that is.
It's not a learning disability. Just dumb. Listen, I believe people suffer from dyslexia and ADHD and whatever. Not knowing Iowa versus Utah is not a learning disability. If you read it, if it was on a piece of paper, and your dyslexia or something caused you to misread it, that's one thing. Just going, you from Iowa or Utah? I have a learning disability. That's not how that works.
I confuse Mormons and corn. Which one are you? Corn?
Also, a learning disability that only confuses those 2 states. Like if he was from Connecticut, you could remember where he was from.
Why Utah and Iowa? It makes no sense.
It is Sioux City, Iowa. I've never been to either state. That's probably why. So I have nothing to connect it with.
Yeah, you
But
would
welcome.
probably remember Utah because we have giant mountains.
Yes, I would remember
That's
that.
like my girlfriend's parents. I'm like, where are you guys from again? And they're always like, Albania. I'm like, we've told you this. I'm like, well, I've never been there. You can't expect me to remember that.
Yes.
Who knows? I can't know where you're from if I've never been there.
I need to touch the ground. I need to touch the earth. Touch
You know
the
why?
soil.
You know why I don't respect you enough to remember where you're from? Because I've never been to that state.
Never skipped a rock on one of my lakes. I see.
And then, the big movie festival was always there, right? The Sundance Film Festival. Does that still go on there?
Very good.
We just had our last Sundance Film Festival. It is now going to be moved. No, it's being moved.
Joe, no, don't do this to me, Dan. Joe goes, it's done? Like, as if Dan was like, if Joe was like, hey, how's your 3-year-old son doing? And Dan was like, I'm Joe, he's passed away. It's unfortunate to announce. And Joe's like, no, he's gone. That's the shock that overcomes Joe when he hears about the Sundance, which up until a minute ago, he wasn't even sure where it was. And now he can't believe that it's gone.
Is Iowa gone too? It's not in Iowa, Joe.
The Sundance Film Festival. Does that still go on there?
We just had our last Sundance Film Festival. It is now going to be moved. It's being moved to.
No, Joe, don't worry. Don't panic. It's being moved.
Colorado to Denver, I believe, or to Colorado Springs, somewhere in Colorado.
They should do a show about it. They're moving too.
Let's follow him on the podcast. Let's do a show about everyone that's moving.
I'm gonna stand at U-Haul and recruit.
we didn't fight for it or something. Like I'm like I can't believe it's being moved. They like put it up for auction or something like that. I'd have to let me pull up. Anyways, yeah.
Don't even worry about
this
it.
isn't.
Let me hear this nervous Nelly. Go back. This guy is panicking. Jesus Christ. Is he covering up? Is he burying the Sundance Film Festival and he doesn't want to get caught? Why is he so nervous?
Not so easy, is it, Chinstrap Utah boy?
It's going to Colorado, but Joe, I wasn't ready for this kind of question.
We didn't fight for it or something. Like I'm like I can't believe it's being moved. They like put it up for auction or something like that. I'd have to let me pull up. Anyways, yeah.
Don't even worry.
Johan is not on SSRIs anymore. And I'm sorry. I don't even know. I used my friend and I was worried about it. I'm sorry.
That's big JD Harmeyer energy this guy has. I don't know. Whatever.
This isn't about coming to Utah.
Matter.
You're going to Philly. So get back.
Much more important. This isn't a ridiculous podcast. Like if you were moving to Utah, this is about moving to Philly.
Yes.
Very excited.
Why? That's the next one.
Why are we doing this, Joe? What are we doing? What are we doing here?
Catch you
explain.
Up to speed. Kind of why I'm doing this podcast. Well, I have the strong fan base, so it's for you guys down in the Philly area, down in the South Jersey area. It branches all the way down to Delaware. I look at it as
this really has legs. It's got its tentacles all the way down to Delaware. That would be big if you were on like AM radio in like 1986. And you were like, this thing, we're not just in Philly. We're hitting New Jersey. We're hitting parts of Delaware.
Northern Delaware, baby.
Wow. It really is expanding.
Everywhere where a Philadelphia Phillies fan lives, everywhere a Philadelphia Eagles fan lives, everywhere where our Flyers are in the playoffs right now, which is like crazy that our Flyers are in the playoffs.
They can go fuck themselves. Just Eagles, Flyers, and Phillies fans. That's it.
What a weird way to build a life.
That's because
you're doing great.
Skoducks. Is he toying with us? That's the next one.
Oh, yeah, I wondered. This feels like maybe a like I got my eye on you sort of a thing. A subliminal message here.
We were like, the weather's beautiful. We lived right at the ocean. It couldn't be more beautiful looking. It looked like Sicily there when you're on the coast in San Diego there. Like we lived in Cardiff, which is right near Encinitas. This beautiful.
Oh,
that feels like you should do a podcast about that, Joe. Living in Cardiff.
Hello.
Hello.
Florida is Philly. That's the next one.
Okay, so this is where, and you might be thinking, boy, that's a limiting podcast. Like what is episode 9 going to be like? Once they've talked about the type of house Joe wants to buy, and then you realize like we're all Philadelphia. Casey lives in Los Angeles. That could be Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. I live in Massachusetts. That could be Philadelphia. Florida could be anywhere you are. That could be Philadelphia, and that's when you realize, man, this podcast could really be something.
Or it means nothing because isn't that where he's moving? If it's anyway,
been doing so many Florida gigs now that have that Philly, that they have that Philly vibe. There's a lot of Philly people living in there. I sold a lot of tickets when I went to Boca. I sold a lot of tickets when I went to Tampa. A lot of Philly people there because the Clearwater's right over the bridge, or they call it Clearwater down there.
Oh, that sounds like Philly to me. That's a guy that knows Philly. This is so. I mean, I can't tell you what a tremendous turnoff it would be if you went to a show and there's a guy from I'm in Florida and I'm like, oh, there's a comedian I'm not familiar with playing. Let's go see him. And he gets up there and he's like, anyone like chowder here? And I'm like, oh, I'm back home. Had you park your car outside? I know what that's like.
No, ma.
Saying Philly things. Like, it is such a such a low bar to set for yourself. To be like, I'm going to be the guys here like Lenny Clark and Steve Sweeney and Don Gavin and guys like that. They made a career being Boston comics, and they got kind of set in their ways of like doing local material because it was like a little easier than have to write a new act. It was kind of easy laughs. I shouldn't include Lenny Clark in that because he kind of expanded outside. But a lot of these guys get kind of stuck here. But they don't say, hey, you know what? Like they were naturally good at that and got kind of, I don't know, pigeonholed in that way. Like they limited themselves. They never said, man, I'm not a successful Boston comedian, but maybe I could be. Like that's what's really weird about what Joe's doing is like, I'm going to try and create a narrative that I'm Philly's guy and then limit myself to only Philadelphia-based gigs. I can maybe go to Florida if it's an area where a lot of old people moved from Philadelphia.
Is he cursed or so? Does he have to live near something in Pennsylvania? Like, what is going on here?
Here's the thing. He doesn't. He lives in Westchester. So he's
that's
not
rich
right now. But, like, it's this is all weird.
Right over the bridge is where the Phillies play spring training. So, Tampa
So I
area
can
has...
do gigs there. I can go where the Phillies play spring training. I have to look at the Eagles' road schedule this year, and maybe I can book some dates there.
It's like a voodoo doll buried under the first base at Philly Stadium. So he has to stay close. I can't leave. I have to stay close.
Also, like, so the Phillies do spring training there. Are people just like, man, I also have to eat cheesesteaks and watch the Flyers and go to a Joe Matarese show? Yes. Like, do they have to do Philly things? I'm going to put on a Fresh Prince album and go see Joe Matarese because I'm all about Philly because the fucking Phillies play down the street.
Yeah, not one mention of Allen Iverson yet. Are you really a Philly guy, Joe? Are you really?
I know, he discounted the Sixers for some reason.
What the fuck, man? Barkley, come on, man.
I did some great shows in Naples. I'm going back for my third year down there where there's tons of Philly people. I want to try to branch off into Sarasota, which I love.
No. Don't do it, Joe. It's too dangerous. Are there enough Philly exports there to really sustain you?
He just needs one, Mike. Just one.
I like Joe thinking. Like, he's like, yeah, Fort Myers is all right. Do I dare go to Sarasota? Do I dare? Do I have the guts to break into the Sarasota market?
Branch out.
Of tons of Philly people there. That's why I wear my Philly shit wherever I go. I don't have it on for this episode, but I wear.
The first episode on your show to Philly. What the
If
fuck?
that's your whole thing, why not, Joe?
That's so Philly. That's so Philly to forget your jersey.
It really is. Oh, I bet they're down in Delco. They're laughing their asses off right now.
Wear it whenever I'm visiting another place to see how many people are going to come up to me and go Birds or go Phillies or.
That's the saddest life I've ever heard of my life. Oh my God.
I put on my shirt. I go down to the store. Like, I mean, it's sad, if some, ex-pro wrestler just sets up a card stand to like sign autograph and hope he's recognized. That's kind of a sad life. But at least like he's trying to make a living. Like what Pete Rose was doing outside the Hall of Fame. Make a few bucks, hopefully get recognized, relive your glory days. This is not even that. This is I put on my Eagles polo. Will someone say "Go Birds" to me? Will there be a guy with Jalen Hurts on his fantasy team at the very least? Please say something to me.
And if all goes well, then what? Some guy sees you high five, and then what?
I'll get a fist bump. What an exhilarating thrill.
We always know the exact record, it was almost pathetic when I had the Phillies on recently down. I was on a cruise a couple weeks ago, which is probably my last cruise, by the way. Another reason.
Because there was no Phillies on there. I checked everyone on there. No one from Philly.
I couldn't find one that circles the shore and then comes back to dock.
Philly Bay Cruises. Oh, it's a market. Be a market leader in the area.
Reason why I want to really lock into this.
We'll still lock into it.
Yeah.
Convincing the wife. Here we go. This is what I wanted to.
Okay, so Joe, I would suggest you do this in your own home. Don't involve us in convincing the wife. But he's made it our job. Now it's on our shoulders trying to help convince the wife to move. It's not our business, Joe. I don't know her interests, her values, her concerns. I don't know how to help you with this. I'm sorry.
I'm like, not only do I need the crowds to be American for me to really click in, I need audiences to speak English as a first language, and I need them to be from the Northeast. And I love it when they're Philly fans. I just have great.
Hold on. And if he's being real honest, I need them to be from one neighborhood in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
He's trying to press like one guy somewhere. Jesus, man.
It starts with a very valid, like, hey, listen, I need the audience to be English speaking, which I can't imagine is a massive problem for Joe. Doesn't seem like that would clash with who he's selling tickets to, but that's a totally relatable problem. You don't speak two languages. Of course, they would need to be fluent in English to understand Joe's act. And then he's like, and they need to be from the Northeast. Why, I don't really understand.
Why do they need to be American? He said American first.
Nate Bargatze and Dusty Slay and Ron White are not speaking such a different language. Man, these guys are from the South. I can't make a heads or tails of what they're saying.
What's a holler?
But you can wrap your mind. Okay, all right. They need to be from the Northeast. And they need to be Eagles fans and Phillies fans. Yes. Well, what? Is that your whole... Are you doing a sports-themed act? And even then, like, general football fans might still get it. Why are you limiting yourself in this way, Joe?
When Jordan said Republicans buy shoes too, like limiting half the population, Joe wants to get down to like 0.001% of the population.
I want 5 people to possibly enjoy me, and then they can decide whether or not they're fans.
Shows every time. So I basically have been saying to my wife, now especially that this Philly fan base is kind of building and building for me, and I'm doing a lot of shows down there, and they're all selling well, and even the Florida area. You know, social media is so big in the game right now, and it's so hard. It's over a 2-hour drive for me to go down to Philly if I want to go to a Phillies game and make some content. If I want to do the VIDOES episode, I got to go all the way down there. I'm like, man, it would be so much easier for me and better for me if I had a base down there. And
this is totally to the wife. Oh my God.
It is. And by the way, the wife is the breadwinner of the family. Like maybe Joe does okay with comedy now. I know the rising Cherry Hill comedy scene probably does pay some bills, but the wife makes most of the money. It is so insulting to say to her, listen, I know you're happy here. I know your family is here. I know we have established roots here over 2 decades. And that we have a home that you've gotten adjusted to. But I do have to drive 2 hours to go to a Phillies game sometime and look at the camera and do a Rocky impression. And it would be convenient for me if the drive was only 45 minutes instead of 2 hours.
I got to drive so far to that pizza place for the show that no one watches. Honey, please, can we...
And listen, these are the type of arguments that couples get in. Or not even arguments, like the discussions they have to have. Sure. Why are we involved in this? Why is this now on our plate? If Joe has slightly less of a drive into Philadelphia every so often.
Honey, I got to go so far for the Arby's. Can we move? Make it a podcast. All right, I'll go make it a podcast.
For anyone that's unclear, by the way, this isn't a discussion that comes up on the podcast. Where, Mike, you're nitpicking. Joe can bring this up and then move on. This is the podcast.
This is
the podcast. The whole premise of the podcast is: should I move to Philadelphia? I sure would like to, and my wife wouldn't.
Yes. The premise is: I'll get that bitch to change her mind one day. We got 4 years.
And I don't know if I can convince my wife, and that's what this whole journey is going to be like on this podcast that I want to do with you guys. Is
it would be great if this was like anal with the wife, a 4-year journey.
Joe will convince her.
Yeah.
can I convince her? Because she's like, she's half in the middle. She doesn't really know what we want to do 4 years from now. I'm always the guy who's like,
That is fucking hilarious.
He's not even that much against you when we have to do this exercise. She's like, I don't know, maybe. And he's like, that's it. I'm starting a podcast.
He really is the girl from Charlie's Chocolate Factory. Like, I want it now. Okay, we'll get it to you.
like pushing something. And I've been looking at, I love looking at real estate and looking at a lot of it down there. It's so much cheaper. It's so much more affordable. She could take the 30th Street.
You have a home.
I looked at our big expensive house in Westchester. Then I looked at these dirt cheap prices in Florida. And I'm like,
I get it. I get it if you aren't 20 years into a 30-year mortgage. Like if you're looking for a new place to live. The wife is saying, let's stay in the house we live in. And Joe is like, no, let's buy a new one.
Honey, worst housing economy in our lifetime? Let's move to Philly to eat some VIDOES pizza.
My wife, you need to know this too. This is important. Her job, she works at Columbia Medical Center on 168th and Broadway in New York City.
Ducks.
She must go into the city once every 2 or 3 weeks. That's it. Everything else is a Zoom call. She doesn't need to be up
I
here.
have to go to Phillies games 5 nights a week.
Can they zoom me into the Philly games?
How often do you have to drive into Philly? I don't understand.
It's an elective, Mike. It's not a requirement. He goes every day. He loves it.
Also, I'm sure that's not true. I'm sure he's lying to a degree. Whereas, she goes in once every few weeks. I'm sure it's a little more frequent than that because Joe knows if he says that, then we'll be like, Joe, obviously, you stay where you are. Your wife works.
He's basically saying, hey, honey, you know that one time a week you have to drive 15 minutes into work? Can you make that 3 hours for me? Please.
The whole argument is, and it's not even an argument. The wife seems like maybe she'll do it.
Yes.
The whole argument that Joe is making as a part of is, your commute to work is convenient, and mine is inconvenient. I would like mine to be convenient and yours to be inconvenient.
Yes. Can we reverse this?
That's the whole selfish crux of this.
Just too crazy expensive if you want to be able to pursue your careers. I think the Philly thing really makes sense. So I wanted to start this podcast, make
That's
it really.
The instinct, of course, is to make fun of Joe, but it is at 60 to tell your wife, who is the breadwinner of the family, to be like, don't you want me to pursue my career? Don't you want me to pursue my dreams? It's like, Joe Matarese, we did, I think a couple of years ago now, but we did an episode of Why Are You Laughing about the roast of Patrice O'Neal. That is a roast from 2003 with comic legends such as Greg Giraldo, Colin Quinn, Jim Norton, Bill Burr, all kinds of names on that Patrice O'Neal roast. Joe Matarese is there and mentioned. They make jokes about Joe Matarese on that roast. That is from the year, I think 2003, if I'm not mistaken. The dream is happening or it's not, Joe. I don't know what to tell you. At age
Decade 3, it's going to happen, man.
And listen, I know there's cases, and maybe Joe will be the king of Philadelphia. Maybe establish that you're the king first, Have sold out arenas of people in Philadelphia. Become the Bob Marley. And just so you know, Casey, there's a Maine comedian named Bob Marley.
Oh, yes. He used to play at the Comedy Store, I think.
He plays like arenas all over Maine for some reason. If Joe can become that for Philadelphia, maybe move then. Establish yourself in Philadelphia. Don't say to your wife, we have to uproot our lives because maybe people will like my jokes about cheesesteaks and the Eagles.
And she bought him a nice car to drive to Philly too, so he doesn't even he's got a beat.
I've been really working on a joke about water ice, and I think we should uproot our lives and change states.
They get it there. They just get it there.
Be interactive with you guys. As you've seen on my social media, I put all this, the phone number up. I'm going to be interacting with voicemails on all the episodes that all you guys left. You guys left a ton of them this episode, which I appreciate.
Gearheads, mission. We have a mission.
The number.
Can I say, I don't know if this is, we'll hear the number in a moment. I don't know if this is shame on the Gearheads or credit to the Matarese super fans, as he calls them. It is all people that know Joe calling in.
Family members.
Going, I think you should move. And then the next one is like, I think you shouldn't move. Give Joe some advice. And genuinely, and I mean this seriously, be helpful to Joe. Give Joe some advice. I mean, of course, make it interesting for us to play on the podcast, but give Joe some good advice.
Is always going to be 914
Gearheads, get your pens out. Here, write this down.
731. I
914-731.
can remember this. 0008.
All right, write that down, and good job.
Dan, I hopefully will be putting that on the screen when I say it.
Dan did. Good job, Dan. Now we're here. Voicemails.
All right, let's hear some of these voicemails. And they're all, I don't mean to spoil it, but they're all like, yeah, I don't know, move, I guess, if you want. Like, that's the tone of all of these voicemails. I don't understand what this podcast is supposed to be. But let's hear the people try and help Joe.
Okay, Joe. So first soundbite, our voicemail is from Tracy. Let's play it.
Tracy.
Hey, Joe, it's Trace. I thought I'd just give you a call and chime in.
All right. You can hit
So,
pause. Hit
thinking
pause
about-
really quick, Dan. Just a little backstory on this. So this girl is why she's acting like she knows me is she really knows me well. We dated for like a month when I was a senior in high school and she was a year older than me, and we became.
Why is she weighing on this at all? Honey, I got good news. A girl I dated for a month in high school thinks we should move to Philly. So start packing.
It's a deciding vote.
friend.
And also, like, if you're setting up a voicemail line, do you want it to be all like people you know that are just like, hey, Joe, I just thought I'd check in.
Everything okay in there? You need to talk to someone, Joe?
Friends later in life, you do that, right? You have any exes
Yeah.
you're friends with still? I mean,
Well-
I don't even think I would call her an ex. Like, we went on a couple of dates and that was it. And her ex-boyfriend almost beat the shit out of me on the
You
date.
kept touch for 45 years?
That is insane behavior.
You went on a couple of dates and she's leaving you voicemails, coaching you on whether or not you should move?
He knew it was her 3 seconds into the voicemail. Well, there she is. Known her since puberty. Oh, that voice.
It's a crazy story, but I don't even know if I should tell it. He
What?
followed.
That's the only story you should tell, you jackass.
Tracy.
Her ex-boyfriend almost beat you up and you're like, let's skip over that. What does she think about the Philly housing market?
Can she tell me about the internet speeds in southern Philly?
You should.
Yeah,
you should, Tracy. If you're listening, let us know if we can share the story.
Yeah. She doesn't know. I've shared it on stage, but she shows up at lots of shows. She's a super
Why don't we get to hear it?
fan now. Like,
We're not from Philly, Mike. We don't get the jokes.
I've shared it on stage. I won't do it here, though. I'm not going to divulge. This is for talking about the best pizza places in greater Philadelphia. And that's it.
Saw your NY hat, and he's like, "That's not a Philly hat. I'm not doing this here. This is not the place for it."
I wouldn't get, I'm a Yankees fan in Massachusetts. I wouldn't get what Joe is doling out. So that does make sense.
she's like a friend and a super fan. Like, she just came all the way to Emmaus, Pennsylvania to a show, and she brought two of her high school friends. She went to Camden Catholic, so she has the South Jersey connection also.
Why are we getting all this information?
Because she has a bit of her DNA is from Jersey and South Philly, Mike. She is part of the lore and legacy.
She went to Camden Catholic.
You didn't know that?
I can't imagine giving a fuck about that information.
Mike,
Who is listening thinking, I don't know, am I going to trust this bitch? What high school did she go to, Joe?
Can you name one person from your... I can't name one person that I ever went to school with before, like, grade 12 or 11. Like, how do you remember someone that deeply? And how do they come to your shows?
I remember a lot of people I went to high school with.
Oh, what is wrong with you, East Coast? You got to move out of your neighborhoods, East Coast people.
I have moved out of my neighborhood. I still have a memory.
And a phone, I guess, yeah. No one likes me or calls me, I guess. All right. Point taken.
She lived in Pennsauken. That's funny that I have to think sometimes.
You don't, no, Joe, let me save you some trouble. You don't have to.
I just often think about Pennsauken and who's from there. What?
Oh, the jokes I have about Pennsauken.
Family time.
Okay, this is good. This is Joe is this is important. What's the family atmosphere in Philadelphia? Will his family be able to handle it?
Years. I would say definitely I pick you to be a suburb kind of a guy, not so much a city.
Hey, I got news for you, bitch. It's not up to you. We call in. Is Joe a suburb guy or a city guy? Top vote results in him moving.
Oh, I'm getting a call from Scorch. You're infringing upon his territory, Joe.
What I love about it too is like she's not even really sure. She's like, I guess if I had to say, gun to my head, you're more of a suburb guy. And Joe's like, man, you've given me a lot to think about.
He really is in deep thought about it, Mike. You can't see, but he's perplexed by the notion. Am I a suburb guy? What am I?
She's making some good points.
I've never seen someone so out of touch with who they are, but trying to be something. Like, he doesn't know what he is. Please tell me. But I love South Philly. Which is it? All right.
I don't know if I'd move back to where we used to live, though. It's really becoming overpopulated in that area, in my opinion. Mainline would be really a nice place to live if you could afford it. I don't know. I think the big question here is, where do you want to be?
No shit! That's the only question. It's none of our business.
This is like a call with a realtor, not a show.
Based on Joe's career and things that have happened to him, the last thing he should do a podcast about is where he lives. He should not be inviting people into his life to this degree. And for this lady to call in and be like, it's an interesting question, but I get, and this is the first call, by the way. First call, man, I guess it really just matters where you want to live, Joe. Podcast over. That's the entire premise of the show. Where do you want to live, Joe? I never thought of it that way.
I imagine Joe at some university and finds a chalkboard and writes this problem on the board and then just comes by every day and waiting for a genius to answer it for him. Where do I want to live?
It's also, by the way, it's really not the question. It's where does the wife want to live?
Yes.
And Joe, for some reason, is trying to get us to be like, man, she's a bitch if she won't move, I guess. I guess that's the point of this.
Or in the 4 years, one of you is going to say something that triggers it in her, and that's why we're giving it a lot of runway. It's because it's going to take some time.
It's also, you've created this, like, underlying tension now for the next, let's say, and like I said, I give it 3 weeks. I don't think Joe's going to keep up with this podcast based on his history. But let's say it lasts all 4 or 5 years till the deadline is when his daughter graduates high school. He set like this deadline where I guess the day she graduates, we have to move, and I get to pick where. So when the daughter graduates, they want to move to Philadelphia, according to Joe. Joe's created this underlying tension for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yes.
And you do this stupid fucking podcast where you've invited everyone to call me a bitch because I don't want to move. My family lives down the street, and I don't want to move to Philadelphia.
This will eventually be the Resentment Podcast with Joe Matarese.
Yeah.
Half years. Give us those thoughts.
Well, see, Dan, what she's saying there, where do you see yourself in 4.5 years? When you got a wife and 2 kids, you know, because you have 3 kids. Can you imagine yourself at my age and your kids?
You'd have to do 2 podcasts a week if you wanted to move. You have 3 kids. Your schedule would be out of control if you wanted to do a podcast.
They're older. They're going to be involved in the choice, even though they're not really going to be living with you. They're going to, my wife, why one of the reasons it's going to be hard is my wife's 2 sisters live in New Rochelle, like within a mile. Both of them live close. They have kids that are my kids' cousins, and my wife's mom lives in about 1.5 miles away, and her parents got divorced a long time ago. He lives in Westchester
You
too.
don't
Her
need
dad.
any of this information.
But it sounds perfect. Sounds like a perfect life. Everything is super convenient and close.
It's not our business. It's not for me to know. But yes, also he's making the argument where it's like his wife has the perfect setup.
Yes.
She's around all her family. She set herself up for retirement where she can retire around her loved ones and have this community. And Joe is like, what if we rip that away? And I got news for you. Let's say they decide to move. That's not that big a deal. Being 2 hours away from your family, this is podcast worthy.
Doesn't even cross a river anywhere.
What if I bought the house across the street? Let's do the next 700 weeks about it.
And they're all really close, and I love them all. I love them all. Like, so
How often are you doing stuff with
Kids, I love you. Now say goodbye to all your friends. Because Daddy needs a pizza.
family?
constantly? We're always do stuff with them. We're even planning a vacation. We haven't done one in a while with all of us. We used to do Cape Cod every summer. We would do a 2-week thing where we'd rent a house with all of us. But when it got too many kids, we had to stop doing it. It was too hard, and it got too expensive to get a house for that many people down or up in Cape Cod.
Well, let me try to follow this now, because you've demanded that I get involved, Joe. You need all of us involved for some reason. So Joe has built a community with his I mean, it's not his blood, but his family, his wife's family, and their kids grew up there, and all those kids grew up together, and now they're going to come back for holidays, and you have this tight-knit community, and his wife, she's tight with her family, and they all get to see each other. And you've even built this community where they travel together. And they don't get to see each other as much as they used to, because even though they live close, that's how life works. Sometimes it gets crazy. And what Joe is saying is, let's move out of that community so I don't have to sit on the train as long when I impersonate Rocky and Harry Callis on my way to the Eagles games.
Sounds logical to me. I don't know what the bitch's problem is.
Not only is it a ridiculous argument to involve us in, it's not a compelling topic.
It's boring.
Who gives a fuck? Should I live 2 hours out of the way here or 2 hours out of the way there? I don't know. It's of no relevance to me.
I don't think there's a person in history that I would care about. Like if Kurt Cobain or Mozart, anyone came back and they're like, I'm thinking of moving out of Aberdeen over to Olympia.
Any reality show, the Kardashians, whatever. If there was an episode like we're thinking about moving 2 hours away, you're like, boy, this really jumped the shark.
They're out of ideas. Oh my God.
Even up here.
We're up to City Joy.
Okay. All right. Let's see what kind of joy Joe gets. Oh, I think it's City Joe, maybe.
City Joe.
City
No, that's
Joe,
my fault.
City Joe and Suburb Joe are two different kind of guys. So Joe might be a different cat once he gets his claws into city life.
For the record, Mike spelled it right. I did not.
She's like, I don't see you as a city guy. That's because I've been living in Westchester for, if you go from Port Chester, where I lived for 6 years, and New Rochelle for like 13, you're almost at 20 years, right? But she doesn't know I lived in the New York City area from 24 to 35, and with one little break for a year in California when I had my development deal. So I have to go into New York City a lot to do comedy shows. She doesn't realize that. I still go in. I still do the New York City comedy scene. I will not.
Isn't your current address more convenient for that? Or should you move to Philadelphia if you have to go into New York City a lot?
I think he's giving up on comedy, Mike. I think this is what he's saying.
She doesn't realize I got to go to New York so much, so we should move to Pennsylvania.
This guy's an idiot.
Not going to be able to do that when I'm living in Philly as much. But the great thing is if you felt like doing it, you come up and you stay with your mother-in-law for a day and you do them and then you go back.
That's what you can do, you jackass.
Jesus Christ.
Go back. I need to hear all that again. Go like 30 or 40 seconds back. Because I need to hear him. He's saying that right now they live in Westchester or whatever. which I hear is the best Chester. And they go down to, he has to go to Philly sometimes. And it's a pain in the ass because it's a 2-hour ride. And I don't know why she's being such a bitch about it. Because if we move to Pennsylvania, then she'll only have to go to New York sometimes. And it's only a 2-hour ride for her. So, wow, that is really different than what you're experiencing, Joe, you jackass. Let me hear this again.
Or, you know, if you go from Port Chester, where I lived for 6 years, and New Rochelle for like 13, you're almost at 20 years, right? But she doesn't know. I lived in the New York City area from 24 to 35, and with one little break for a year in California when I had my development deal. So I have to go into New York City a lot to do comedy shows. She doesn't realize that. I still go in. I still do the New York City comedy scene. I will not be able to do that when I'm living in Philly as much. But the great thing is if you felt like doing it, you come up and you stay with your mother-in-law for a day and you do them, and then you go back. And you got the 30th Street Station, which is the Philly train station. That has an express train. You shoot right up to New York and do your New York stuff, and you shoot right back down. Train? It's like 2 hours. It's not long.
Oh, dude, that's
beautiful. That's what it was for you, you son of a bitch.
What a fucking asshole.
It's only like 2 hours. Right now, my commute is 2 hours. Oh, can you even imagine having to do 2 hours? But if we moved to Philly, my commute would only have to be like 2 hours. What a piece of shit.
Maybe he hates the house he's in or something. Like, there's something going on here we don't know.
He said, I don't know if it's in any of these clips. He said his house has doubled in value and it's worth like $1.4 million now or something. So no, it's not a shitty house he's in. They would make a nice amount of money on it if they sold. I don't know what all this. They don't seem desperate, I guess is my point.
He seems pretty desperate. But yeah, she's
yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 hours.
That's better than being in a car for 2 hours.
Oh yeah, well that's the other thing. My wife loves going on trains because she does all her work. She loves it.
Bitch loves trains.
I unfortunately hate the train. I wish I loved it, but yeah, she likes the train, so we should live in Philadelphia. She likes the train, so we should change where we live.
My wife's love of urban trains is what first attracted me to her.
And by the way, it's not my business where you live for what reason. You've made it my business.
I know.
Why are you doing this to me, Joe?
It feels like we've looked at the last 4 of his social, and he should keep showing it to us, and we're like, stop it.
Please, I don't
know
want
that
information.
Yeah. Suggestion time.
Okay, well now maybe people have some advice for him, and I think that's very exciting. Finally, people can weigh in on where Joe should live.
All right, this is Jerry Rowan from Philadelphia, although I actually live in Delaware County, PA,
Another regular.
now, right outside of Philly.
bastard.
And that's what I'm
This is the first episode, but okay.
going to suggest. I hope this counts, but I'm going to suggest Ardmore, PA. It's a nice little hip little town right outside of Philly, like 5-10 minutes. If you need a place from Philly, I mean, you always got Northern Liberties, you always got Fishtown that's coming up. These are nice places.
Wait, is the point of just to name towns Joe could live in? There's no way we're part of that decision. The wife has no say in the town they would move. I think you should move to East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, Joe. What do you say about that?
How do you feel about
Oh, you don't give a fuck about the towns that I'm aware of? Oh, okay then. I guess I'll hang up.
Joe, how you feel about tractors in the road? You okay with that? It was only 7 minutes from Philly. Got a few tractors in the road. He's thinking about it. He's so deep in.
What about Wilkes-Barre, Joe? You ever think of moving there?
There's all kinds of nice places in Philly now coming up, but if you ask me, you can't go too far in either direction. And I wouldn't want to live there. Nice place to visit, beautiful place to visit, but I prefer to be in the suburbs. Even when I live in Philly, I live in Northeast Philly, like in the suburbs. So, hey man,
Joe is presenting to us an unanswerable question. Even the callers are like, Well, I mean, I like this area of Philadelphia, but also like that. Those are my interests. So there's no way to help you here, Joe. What are we supposed to do here, Joe? What do you want from us?
It's an existential question. He's a philosopher. Where should I live?
I need Joe, if you're listening to this, I need you to lay out the ground rules in the next episode. What's like the ideal voicemail? Like what information do people present you that will help? Because I can't even imagine what it is. All I can give you are areas that I know.
Yes.
Like I can name towns in Pennsylvania for you, I guess, if you'd like. I can tell you what my preferences are in a living situation and what I might guess yours are. And that's about it. That's where my expertise ends. What do you want from us, ideally?
What data do you need, Joe? Because is it restrooms and miles between them? Is it restaurants? What gas stations?
Homework assignment. What are we looking for? The amount of Wawas per square mile. What
There
are
we go.
What are we looking up?
Are we gonna find like Jersey and Yankee fans and tell you not to move next to those people? We need to specifically find a place for you. I see.
The only thing I can imagine that Joe is looking for is for someone to call in and be like, in New Rochelle, they're projected in 5 years, the whole town is going to be taken over by mice. It's going to be entirely rodent infested. Like he wants us to call in with predictions about how terrible the town is. Other than that, I can't imagine what he wants from us.
I hear this one town is sinking into the mud, Joe. Stay out of that one. 5 years from now, it'll be just a mud pit.
Suggestion is Ardmore. I know you've done some gigs there, but you might not have seen the nicer parts. All right? That's my 2 cents. Thanks.
Jerry's always a good caller, too. He's in...
If Richard Christie and the old Howard Stern show was still around, he would spend all day calling and leaving messages, just random places on the map. Hours of just random places on the map. Guys, you have your mission. Come on, get your heads to it.
Another longtime fan. Jerry, thanks for calling. So Jerry said a lot of interesting things, Dan.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Not one.
Jerry said, here's some towns in Pennsylvania. It really boils down to what you like. And Joe's like, you really give me a lot to think about that. Let me ruminate on this.
I gotta go tell the wife. I think we're onto something here.
So the main thing is, again, he's mentioning Ardmore. Now, Ardmore is another one that is a mainline town, like a very rich mainline town. It has some not rich parts. That's why he made that comment. Like, I don't know if you've been to the nice part of it. But my
homes available that you can afford that would... We're just supposed to... Put it this way. Every town has homes for sale. Every single one. Where do we come in on this? We don't know what your budget is, what style of house you like. Give us something to go on, Joe, and we'll be your real estate agents.
We keep looking for an entry point, Joe. It's like a fan, a blade, and we keep like trying to time our way into it and just keep getting sliced here.
When he said Jerry's given me a lot to think about, what is the update he gives to the wife after episode 1? Honey, Jerry mentioned Ardmore, and there are some rich parts and some not rich parts. So hey, listen, we're 4 years away. Just put that down in your notebook.
I have a feeling she's just happy that she's out of her hair most of the day with this nonsense.
But for the little I know of Joe, I don't know how the man is in his personal life. I would guarantee this comes up at home.
Yes.
Hey, Jerry and Tracy called, and they said I should move to Philadelphia.
You know Tracy, 4th grade Tracy, the one that's been following us for 50 years.
I held her hand in high school once. She thinks I should move states.
What the fuck are we watching?
My wife's rich mainline friends, one of them used to live, and I used to say it on stage, Ardmore. That's how I would say it, Ardmore. It was like Woodcrest Country Club Drive. Like whenever I talk about these areas.
Most hyper local material. Like I mentioned those Boston guys, at least, Steve Sweeney and those guys, like they'll talk about references everyone in Massachusetts, or at least Eastern Massachusetts, will understand. They're like, those girls in Revere, and everyone's like, I know what you're talking about. This is specific to streets in New Jersey. Country Club Drive.
Areas. That's one of those rich areas. Ardmore. Like they wouldn't even say Ardmore. Ardmore. And I make fun of these areas too. The people are so rich that they put their kids in private schools, even though they have great schools there. You're like, what are you doing? Like their school's great.
Them.
Mm-hmm.
You've really zeroed in on some. These people are so rich. They pay for private school when the public school isn't even that bad. I used to tell that on stage sometimes.
That's how I got my development deal that 1 year in LA. That joke.
I can't imagine the blank faces on the. Huh? What town? Ardmore we're making fun of here?
All right. Now we're getting real hyper local.
I don't know if I can handle anymore. How do we get more local than Ardmore?
I don't know. A person. We're going to talk about a person in their outhouse.
You know, Vinny?
No, you're doing great. All right, let's go to Bill.
To Bill?
This guy is the most nervous Nelly I've ever.
Joe, it's Bill from Diamond Beach, New Jersey, near Cape May. You need to come to Cape May County, buddy. Don't go back to Camden. Don't go to Philly. You need to come to Cape May County.
Oh, good. I like a nice short call, Dan.
That's what you want? You want to call in and go, hey, Joe, Cape May, checking out. That's what you want.
As performed, this is a Saturday Night Live skit. I'm starting to realize, like, the comedy in it. Like, if you did this as a Saturday Night Live skit where guys just look.
Ooh, no, that's a good voicemail. Thank you for saying nothing.
Yes.
And the voicemails, he's programmed his show around. You guys do the work. You guys call in and tell me where I should live. And I'll go, interesting.
Have you ever seen the Californians on Saturday Night Live? How they get very oddly specific with what street you should take around. That's this vibe. Has this vibe.
This is that without the shtick of the accents.
Yes. Comedy.
This is all like speaking another language to Dan over there in Utah.
No idea.
You don't know what the hell's going on.
I'm sure there are people in Pennsylvania that don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
His wife is confused.
For someone who's not from the area, you need to know he's speaking about Jersey Shore. Now, Jersey Shore isn't like the show Jersey Shore. The show Jersey Shore was filmed in Seaside Heights. And that is where New Yorkers would come down to go to the Jersey Shore. That's where they go because it was closer. It's about an hour and 15 minutes to go from New York City down to a Seaside or a Point Pleasant, or a really rich version of that is Red Bank, right?
How about this? If I'm your wife, Joe, I'm saying, how about you stop recording this stupid fucking podcast, and that gives you an extra free hour to sit on the train every day.
Yes, you could spend all day in Philly.
This is the time that you could have been spending on the train instead of passive-aggressively guilting me into moving to Philadelphia.
I would watch like a walk and talk on my way to Philly every day. Well, I wouldn't, but people would. We'd be excited about that, Joe. You talking about going is weird, off-putting.
Yeah, I do think I'd prefer you do this if I'm being honest, from my perspective.
That's true.
Those are an hour and a half away, hour 40 minutes away from the south.
Or the perfect ride time for the wife.
He has to make it seem. That's the thing. He's trapped himself.
Yes.
He's like an hour and 30 minutes. I mean, an hour and 40 minutes. An hour and 30 minutes would be bearable. An hour and 40 minutes. But he's trapped himself by being like, it's 2 hours, baby. Just take the train. Who gives a shit?
If you're 2 hours from everywhere you like, that means you're in the middle of everything that you like. You know what I'm saying? Like, if everything is accessible, that's probably a good life.
And I moved like further away from the city, further away from some of my friends. I've seen them maybe more in the last 8 months since I moved.
Because got the pool.
Well, no, you make an effort to see people, and like an hour and a half is not that crazy a drive, or an hour is not that crazy a drive.
Yeah, and a 5-hour plane flight isn't that far. Just get an invite from Blind Mike, and I'll go.
Well, we'll see. But the alternative to that is, for those people that an hour is too far away, they just drift out of your life. And that's what happens. I can't do a podcast about every relationship that has benefited or been hamstrung by a move. It doesn't make any sense.
I think Joe's just discovering physics. Like when you move something, you lose where you were before. That's just proper physics.
South Jersey, Philly area, somebody is probably going, no, it's an hour and 10 minutes. Whatever. It's over an hour away.
Jesus Christ. Diverse call is
bullshit. It's an hour and 20.
He's a walking Thomas guide, this guy.
Okay, so there is, Joe gets very excited because there's a wide spectrum of callers. So let's hear him tell us about it.
Hi, Joe. This is Debbie. Absolutely, you cannot move back to Cherry Hill. Absolutely, you cannot move to South Philly. It is not the same place that it used to be. So my suggestion would be move to Washington Township. That's where everybody from South Philly moved to. Hope you have a great podcast. Bye.
Those are the calls.
Perfect call.
Joe, don't move to Cherry Hill. Move to, what'd you say, Washington Township or something?
Yeah, yes.
To the listener, it's the same place. No one knows these places.
Imagine you live in Los Angeles, Mike. You don't know these places exist.
But I'm sure the people that live around there do know it. I'm picturing if someone was debating whether they should move to Brighton or Weymouth, I couldn't imagine contributing to that conversation. It's not my business. Should I live in Canton or Arlington? Who gives a fuck?
Even Andy Kaufman would be like, "Hey, dude, that's a little too much committing to the bit, bro, on this show."
It's exhausting.
Yes.
See, this is so great. I can't believe we're literally naturally getting calls with completely It's like if we had to cast like a reality show about.
We should call every realtor in New Jersey and give them Joe's number and tell them to harass Joe.
This guy, you got a live
He wants
one.
to move. When you call him, he's gonna say he wants to move there. He's gonna give you a timeline that seems unreasonable, but stay on him.
And to be clear, Casey doesn't mean harass. YouTube's terms of service, of course.
He gave us the number, Mike. He gave us the number to call.
We're talking about we're naturally getting calls that are diverse.
They're natural calls, Mike.
Diverse.
And I swear to God, we didn't even pick these out this way. These are the people that called.
He means there are some people that he knew personally, and there was one he didn't. Diversity.
I noticed Electra and Cardiff did not get through. I don't know why that is.
No, they did not.
Now, Washington Township, Dan, is like a Cherry Hill. It's a suburb of South Jersey where I don't know if I did it.
So they're all the same?
Gonna need some reference points here.
So Washington Township, this lady is like, hey, fuck Cherry Hill. Don't move back to Cherry Hill. You got to move to Washington Township. And Joe's like, boy, that's really interesting. Thanks for all the diverse calls. For those of you that don't know, Washington Township and Cherry Hill are the exact same town. Now let's decide which one I should live in.
Did a show there about a month ago. Everybody.
He did a show. Now he's talking about rich areas, Mike.
Okay, are we gonna live, Joe? I'm gonna weigh in here. I don't remember where this clip goes. I'm gonna get ahead of this. I don't think you should live in an impoverished area if you can avoid it. All right, that's my. Thanks for letting me call in, Joe. Go Eagles, go Birds.
Or move to New Jersey or Philadelphia, man. Mainline. I don't know. Are you a mainline guy? The expense,
you're right.
the cost, the pretentiousness.
Hold on. That guy nailed it in the first 3 words of his response. He goes, hey, should you move to Philly or Jersey? I don't know. That's the answer we should all give him. I don't have any fucking idea where you should live, Joe.
It really, there's no stakes for anyone in this, not even Joe, because he's put it out so far.
Not even Joe. Here are the stakes for Joe. His ride to Philadelphia is slightly longer or slightly shorter. Those are the stakes.
The wife is pissed or not pissed. That's it. That's basically the stake.
He's just degraded his wife enough
I don't know, man. You can just move to the main line. It's too, you're going to buy into that lifestyle. I don't know, maybe just get yourself a nice log cabin house in my old neck of the woods. I'm in Cocos Woods. You got the exit 43 off 295 there. Or maybe something, you know, more economical in Willingboro or Florence. You know, I don't know. Main line, just don't be that guy.
You don't know. Stop naming towns. Just, you don't know.
I feel we're going through all our material here in the first show. Like, what are we going to do 3 years from now? We're out of towns.
That's what I mean. What's episode 9? What's episode 25?
We're going to have to invent some town names. Get going, AI. We need some town names in Philly.
You know.
And what a lot of it is, from what I've noticed, it's people going, you don't want to live in Cherry Hill. I live in Washington Township. That's where you should live. It's just them like saying, oh, live where I live, Joe. It's a nice place.
It's too much, too expensive, and the people there are a little snobby. I know you're into that, but I don't think you're that guy. Anyways, talk to you, man.
This is great. Listen to Joe encapsulate his audience. This is what Joe thinks his audience is. This is awesome.
And I'm glad you're back in the podcast game. See you, brother.
Peace. Nails it every time, Ron. My wife's not that type of woman either. Like that's why we live in New Rochelle. New Rochelle is on the downward slope in Westchester. Like Larchmont is next to us. That's where it's more money. Then you got Pelham, which is really pretty rich. There's some areas of Pelham that are insane.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
So Nick Rochefort does a show called Scuffed Realtor. And they basically go on Zillow and like talk about houses and how they're constructed and what they're worth, if they're overpriced, all that stuff. Nick Rochefort is a funny guy who has a level of expertise on the subject and is able to make it into an interesting show, a seemingly uninteresting topic. This is just naming towns. He's not even getting into the type of real estate he wants. He's just naming towns and going, this is a nice place to live. This is a not as nice place to live, but a decent place to live. It's incredible.
In chat here, Edwes Cohen, I don't know this name. If someone presents Joe with ChatGPT, he would spend his entire day in there. I would pay for watching Joe talk about this whole thing with ChatGPT. It doesn't need to be a podcast. This is a ChatGPT conversation.
Yes.
And I would watch it.
Yes.
Up next, real estate show.
Oh, yeah.
I've always had a little interest in, I could see why like famous actors sometimes they'll have a city apartment, but then they'll also have like a farm and they can interact with animals. For some reason, my wife's afraid of horses. I'm not. I love animals, so I don't know.
Okay, so
farm now? Now we're on to city apartment and farm we're investing in.
like
Joe, I've only been your realtor for 40 minutes, and you've got me drowning. I don't know what to do here.
You gave me 30 cities. You said tractors. You said no tractors. I don't know what to do, Joe.
Farms are in the mix now.
Well, they're not because his wife hates horses, so that ain't happening.
To Zillow. This is a place in Medford, New
much?
Jersey. This is $699,000.
Is it a log cabin?
$500,000.
Spit it
It's
out.
not a log cabin. It's like a little tiny house, but it's next to
it's
like
got
a
a
lake.
beach.
Yeah, it's like next to this lake. Look at this thing,
Yeah.
like a beach. This little,
That's too shitty in the middle of nothing. I can't believe they're asking $700 for that. That's a lot.
Now we're almost getting into something. We've almost got a show. We're on the cusp of something here. We've almost got a show.
Lot to ask for that.
I'm trying to
I want to
figure
see
out
a
here,
log
like-
cabin that's all pimped out. I want to see how much
let's see
that
if-
costs.
I don't know if I can find.
Now we're doing a real estate show.
No,
I'll see if I-
back away from it. You almost stumbled into something interesting.
It's like, no, this is, oh, no, people might like this. Hurry, back away, back away. Don't look at this.
I also like the producer's instinct to be like, I don't know if I can do that. You're already on. You're on Zillow. Why not?
He's so unsure of so many things.
Sponsor today is Realtor.com and Zillow and Trulia. I'm sure you could find one.
Jackass, instead of mocking it, Make that the show. Make it a real estate show.
You have advertisers built in, asshole. Right there, you said them.
You can slip in and out of your quest to move to Philadelphia, but you can make it about other things. Joe's like, oh, now this is just a real estate show. Imagine being that hack.
Broad audience, get out of here. Let me narrow this thing back to 4 people. There we go.
I just want my fucking uncle to listen, and that's it.
Yes.
One of those log cabins.
I'll
There's
see if I can
tons of
find
them out
something.
there. My
play you
Jean from my other podcast, sister, she lives in one. I think in Medford.
Jean from my other podcast, sister, lives in one.
Is my co-host sister lives in a log cabin. Where am I supposed to go with that, Joe? What on what street towards entertainment are we going down here?
On a lake. She did that, but they did a fixer upper, and they like had to put a lot of time. I need it fixed already.
What a metaphor for his life right there.
I had a house built, and I don't find that to be an interesting subject. Imagine knowing someone who built a house and
just lives in one.
And just talking about that. I know someone who lives in a house that was built. Isn't that something? Isn't that fodder?
Mm-hmm. Logs. Discuss. It's memories time.
Okay.
All right. Probably have time for a couple more.
Oh, good.
Hey, Joe. It's Dawn D. Simone from Cherry Hill. I remember...
Cherry Hill. It's just endless.
Electra, remember that voice? Use it. That's the voice you leave the voicemail messages.
It's all, by the way, good for Joe. Is it all girls he dated 40 years ago calling into the show?
Apparently so.
We're seeing you on South Street at the TLA.
What if this is a secret show to reconnect with the old ladies from his past?
Did you hear what he said? Listen, go back. Listen to that.
Okay.
She goes, I saw you on South Street. This has gotten to, hey, I walked by you in Cherry Hill, so I think you should move here.
Probably have time for a couple more.
Hey, Joe. It's Dawn D. Simone from Cherry Hill. I remember seeing you on South Street at the TLA for a Star Search audition. Do you remember that? All right, bye.
I'm so old, Dan, that I don't have any memory of things. And I'm like, I know that's someone I probably went to high school with, right? D. Simone, last name. I remember D.
I would also, let's say this is the premise of my show. I'd also be talking to the producer in this moment. And I'd be saying, yeah, Casey, the next time someone calls in and just says, hey, I saw you once, we don't need to play that one. That would be the conversation I'm having. Joe gets that voicemail and is like, boy, that really has sparked something in me. I've got a lot of thoughts. She saw me outdoors once. I
wonder if I ever held her hand.
Simone Cadillac was a big car dealership in the South Jersey area. I don't know if she's one of that family. I don't remember auditioning for Star Search.
We're getting into the family car dealership legacies of Southern Jersey, Mike. You don't care about that?
You probably weren't auditioning for it. She's probably wrong. It's probably a crazy lady, Joe. Who gives a fuck?
Ever. I don't even remember doing that. I know where the TLA is, a famous theater. It's where Andrew Dice Clay recorded his first special that he became huge from, the TLA on South Street. But I'm pretty sure she's one of those people that I know that is mixing the theater up and what the audition was for.
Oh, what a stupid bitch. What a cunt, huh, Joe? I'm sorry you have to deal with that fucking moron like that. I'm sorry. She's probably one of these people that mixes up my achievements. I was probably auditioning for Last Comic Standing, not Star Search, you fucking stupid idiot.
Got to cross Cherry Hill off the map. Bunch of dumb Philly people there. Can't live there.
I don't know what she's talking about. I don't remember ever auditioning for Star Search. I did do Last Comic Standing, and I did do America's Got Talent.
It was probably one of those. It was probably one of those, Joe. She made a mistake. What are we going to spend an hour on it? Let's get past it.
He exhausts me, Mike. I'm exhausted. I really need a shower.
Did I ever audition for Star Search? I don't know, Joe. Star Search and Last Comic Standing were 10 years apart. So you tell me.
Star Search in my career. Not even an audition. Sorry. She gave no advice either.
She didn't tell me where to move.
What a stupid hole.
She just talked all salty and sexy to me. I don't need that. I need locations, cities. What's the point of all this, Mike?
I've been asking myself that for a while. Maybe Joe will tell us.
Northern Liberties, yeah, nowhere near that hipstery area. I want to be people of kind of normal aged that are artsy and they like to live in and intelligent and educated people. Even though I'm dumb and went to community college, I don't know what it is about me. Educated people like me the most and like my comedy the most.
Oh, that's what I meant. I mentioned that earlier. I thought he explained it in the earlier clip. Joe says this a lot. He's like, I don't know what it is. Really, it's a shame. Like only the 1% of smart people love my comedy. Only the really intelligent like my stuff. You have to be, sort of an elite class of brain.
Mensa Joe.
Yeah, you have to be immense. That's sort of 160 IQ and above to understand the nuance, the difference between Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and Asbury Park. It takes such an elite mind to wrap their head around that.
Have you ever had a real IQ test, Mike?
So I don't know how real it was. I'm pretty sure I took one in psychology in high school. And I got a 114, but I don't know if that's real or not. I also don't know if that's a good score.
You, me, Kragers, DJ Electra, we all take IQ tests. You in?
Well, John has challenged me, so I'm waiting for him.
$10,000 though. I remember that.
No,
I'm
waiting. I'm still waiting.
Okay, never get
The wife likes those kind of people the most too.
Out of everyone, you have the only legitimate lawsuit in the entire Dabbleverse, and you don't do anything about it. It's hilarious. You promised it multiple times on air to give you $10,000 for an IQ. Motherfucker.
It's a good fit for us, so it's already done. We figured it out. It was nice that you guys all called in. I really appreciate it. This was the pilot episode, but I mean, just know I was going to do what I want to do, as my parents would tell you. Joe does what he wants to do, no matter what you say. Usually,
what are we doing here?
Getting defensive.
You're not going to listen to us? You cocksucker!
Mommy tried to tell me what to do too, you assholes. I'm not listening to any of you.
You already have a plan in mind? You son of a bitch!
You just wasted an hour of my life I'll never get back, Joe. You bastard.
Ultimately, I appreciate you guys calling in, but ultimately, I'm just going to do whatever I want. Why are we listening to this?
I'll be in my deathbed, and I'll be like that last few breaths just thinking about Matarese stole this moment from me. I could have had more.
as my parents would tell you, Joe does what he wants to do, no matter what you say. Usually, I want to do the everyone on this whole podcast could have told me to move to Ridley Park or Delco, and I would have ended up saying, no, I want to live on 16th and Chestnut, and this really cool.
Fuck you, man. Really? Seriously. Fuck you. Why are we doing this then?
You know, lead with that next time. Lead with that.
You know, even if everyone called with the same specific advice, I'd say, meh, I'm not doing that.
He kind of just told you he's a moron, too. Everyone tells me I'm doing all the wrong things. I just keep going ahead.
I mean, that's a great commentary on Joe's entire career.
Yes,
but Jesus, what is the point of this then?
There is
apartment that has a roof deck. That's where I want to be.
That's where he wants to be. But he won't listen to anyone about how to get there.
It's exhausting, but I'm going to listen next week.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to see how far down the road we travel. I'm excited.
That show is over. It will never come back.
Yay, super chats.
All right, we got a few here to get through. Brando807, $2 was in reference to Chelsea being called a slag.
Nice.
Their last one, I guess.
I never know.
Slag is a British term, I believe.
All right.
Hi, we're listening here. 1022, two thingies. Commandantor. Commandantor.
Okay.
All right. I don't know what that means.
Good stuff.
Joe from Virginia, 199. Best part of Julia Fox bonus was WTS at the end.
Yeah, you got a nice little treat for the WATS fans. Got a little John Cirasani, Woke Chad.
Delete
Open. No delete laws, unfortunately.
I'm surprised Woke Dad hasn't returned since you guys have moved off him, you know?
I'm surprised in general that he's been able to stay away. He seemed like such an addict to social media. I'm surprised he stayed away this long, but
Those poor kids will never get the art they deserved, Mike. It's just sad, really.
well, maybe the art studio is flourishing. I mean, that's why he doesn't need us anymore. That could
Or
be
the
it.
authorities got notified. One of the two. What's going on there? All right, we got Flatbush, Tommy96815 $5. Just another Joe phase, he says. He's unhappy professionally again, and he's makes his family suffer with these childish fantasies, hoping it will change his career.
That's not an inaccurate assessment. That's pretty fair to what the cycles that Matarese goes through.
Joey Imagination is what they should call him. Green Treek 9 199. Joe sounds like Jimmy Norton doing a character. A little bit.
Yeah, there is just like I'm trying to think of which Joe Matarese character applies most. Maybe like a regular Joe. I don't really know, but yeah, you're right. There is a Norton character there, kind of.
And he does this thing when these people are calling and describing this, inane thing that they're describing, where he is so deep into thought, Mike. It's like he's hearing trigonometry or watching like, a space landing somewhere. It just makes no sense. George,
parking is better in fucking East Side, Pennsylvania.
George Captor, $5. Has anyone even mentioned that we have absolutely no clue as to how the housing market will be in 4 years? Yes.
That's another great. We're speculating on something. Who knows? Maybe it'll be perfectly affordable. Maybe it'll be way out of Joe's price range. There's no way to tell.
I'll tell you who is watching those interest rates. Mike Geary. A little refinance time,
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully that's coming soon. Don Fried Chicken, $4.99. I support the use of SSRIs, but watching Joe makes me really question if I should. He is the definition of dead inside.
Oh, Joe Matarese. I was thinking Joe Rogan because of the conversation earlier. Yeah, I don't. It's weird. Joe's not a duck. I don't know. Like, I'm glad he went on his mental health journey. I don't know that it was best for him, but I also can only imagine if this is the guy that he is medicated. I can only imagine how tedious he was unmedicated.
Yes. And finally here, Dang Lizard, the great Dang Lizard. Go follow him on YouTube. Only highly intelligent and well-educated people watch BTH. That's correct.
That is true. I think that is true. And shout out to Dang Lizard for making all of our outros.
Oh.
Yes.
And
terrific.
One more here. This is, hey, we're listening here. Celebrates 13 months of membership.
Oh.
I was in VIDOES when I heard Sundance was being moved, and I almost dropped my slice. Oh, no.
Forks on the ground all over VIDOES.
Sundance is gone. It's gone.
It's too.
Thank you to all the great super chatters.
Yes, thank you, folks. Much appreciated. We appreciate those of you that chat, that are members, or just support the show for free. Wherever you get podcasts, Apple, Spotify. Video now available on Spotify as well as YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. It helps more people find the show. And if you want to become a member on Patreon or YouTube, you can do that to get early access and bonus content. I mentioned earlier in the program that next week we will not be live, but we will be putting out... I'm sorry. It's been a while since we've missed a week. But we will be putting out an episode watching Jeff Dye's Last Cowboy in L.A. Some of Craig's best production work, I would say. He got a little greedy at the end, but he did a lovely job.
Are you a fan of Jeff Dye, Mike?
I will say, watch to find out.
Okay. Ooh, what a good
I
tease.
experienced that exact question at the beginning. I didn't really know the answer to that, and I found out through the course of that episode.
Now I'll be watching, and where can you find all that stuff, Mike?
BlindMike.net. But more importantly, HackRideStudios.com.
Oh, yes. Yeah, go over there. We're almost done. We're almost done with Riley Martin. So that would just leave Unboxing Eric the Actor left, and I can't wait. Oh, my God. They're so taxing. But, yeah, so check it out. HackRideStudios.com and the great DJ Electra Fry at DJElectraFry.com and anywhere you see a podcast.
You guys did some music-related show too, I saw, right? Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
yeah. I'm big into it. Right before summer, they release a lot of albums, and I'll tell you what, man. Everyone's like AI's ruined music. I think the opposite. I think all these great artists are seeing like how shitty AI music is, and like there's a real love for this good music, and so many great Toadies just put out a new album. Vancouver Sleep Clinic put out a new album. So there's a lot of good stuff out there, and so yeah, I know you're a huge music fan, Mike.
I'm a music guy now, as
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, go check it out. It's HackRideStudios.com. Support HackRide. Support verygoodshow.org. Support the people that support this show, and thank them. And we'll talk to you next time.
Have a great week off, Mike.
Bye bye.
And we have a meme transition.
Hey, it's Boogie. Cypress through the way, everyone out there. Now, this is very interesting. Now, really, ladies, if you're listening, and men, and everybody in between.
If I tell you you've got a homicide, buddy, you've got a homicide.
I hope to hear from you soon. I am proud to own the Trumpy Bear, and I will always be proud to be an American. Put it in the outro. Until then, have yourself a great day, and as always,
There's no cum on my mic.
rock on.
Stop the baloney, huh? What kind of statement is that?
I wrote it.
One of my favorite players to cover when he was here was Mike Vrabel. Tell me Mike Vrabel's story.
Whatever, dude. I keep it cool at the gym.
Piss on it. Fuck you, Mike. Fuck you, Mike. Fuck you, Mike. All right. Stop, my belly hurts.
My dad was in the military.
Was that, sir?
Can you please kindly F off, please? If a person is on a bridge threatening to jump, how do we know that he wants help?
Okay, I hope nothing's bad happened.
Money, 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 money. Fuck, please.
Anyway, God bless America.
Put it in the outro.
Important to remember that bitches be